Greetings, fellow chaotic friends. Welcome back, GLL Nations Royale. Because it gets chaotic, 32 versus 32, but it's not the European version anymore. Nope, we're going over to Americas, but still, with Toby and me, obviously, G-Runner.
Hi.
I was expecting something that was more energetic.
Yeah,
more
I've
in your
got some
face.
energy for you. Do you know what one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports are to this date, G-Runner?
Yes, UK and penalty shot.
Do you know what another really big rivalry in sports is between two nations that might have something to do with this, G-Runner?
Then it's probably Brazil and Argentina.
Oh, nice of you to bring it up, because I can tell you, at least for right now, this rivalry goes way, way, way back. But to this date, the current leaders are, after having played a total of 109 matches against one another, Brazil, 45 wins to 39, 25 draws. So clearly Argentina, they have something to come back here and take away.
That segment was sponsored by Wikipedia and Google. Now back to the action on PUBG. Obviously, it's the Nation Royale, so we said already 32 versus 32. We had the European a bit earlier, in case you missed that. We saw how Hungary lost against Turkey, and we saw how France lost against the UK. So these two teams are out, but now it's a completely different bracket. So that was European Nations Royale, now it's America's Nation Royale, and we're already in the semis. While in Europe, we're still in the round of 16. Here, we are in the semifinals. First semifinals is what we've seen today, which is Brazil against Argentina, but there's another one.
Yes, there's multiple games to come. And it's going to be super exciting for us to see what's going to happen.
There's obviously just one semi-final next to our semi-final.
Yes.
And it's actually USA versus Canada.
Yeah, I was going to say that. If you get one, I would say the other one. Yeah. USA and Canada. But it's not being played today. It's not being played today. Because, as you guys might know, we have a bit of a tight schedule coming into things. At 1:30 our time, we will be running into servers cannot be connected to, because there's going to be maintenance.
Yep, maintenance and patch. That means we need to speed up a bit, so building up the lineup of the team so we can actually get into the game action.
Go.
Because it's a best of 5 and we really need to hurry. Here we go. Team Argentina.
Yes.
And Team Brazil.
Yes.
Yes. Great.
Yes.
Great. Go through the players. Give me all your knowledge.
Kodak is a guy that obviously likes taking good pictures. And
all the people with MTG actually work at MTG.
Kodak pictures, exactly. No, I mean, I must be honest with you. For me, the South American region is one that I have seen a lot of. I do know for a fact that the great guys here at GLL in Stockholm, where we are right now, have got the honor of bringing in the second global event that's going to be in the middle of July, at which the South American region will be represented as well. So it's going to be fun to see some of these players, I would assume, represented in the Grand Slam coming in then. But for now, it's going to be 32 guys up against another 32 in Argentina and Brazil.
Yeah, and obviously there are some pro and semi-pro people on both lineups. I think 15 on Team Brazil, Taknosh. If we got everything correct, then should be a big streamer.
He has been in PUBG from the very start. He was actually one of the guys that before PUBG was really PUBG was a thing pretty early with streamers and stuff playing, but he was one of those guys that would really, every time I would cast a tournament, the question you would hear a billion times was, is Teknosh playing? Where is Teknosh? When are we seeing Teknosh? Where is Teknosh? Where is Teknosh? He was getting all the viewers. He was very, very big. And he's obviously still a very famous guy. So great to see him representing his country. And hopefully they can bring home some wins.
That's true. So probably check out. Make sure that there might not be other streams that you want to watch. Because we've already got 2 screens. Just make sure that you do never close our window.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because then the whole world just ends. That's how it is.
Pretty simple.
So don't do that. And other than that, you're obviously free to watch some point of view from players.
Yes.
Brazil versus Argentina, best of 5 since the semifinals. So we're done with the best of 3s on this side of the GLL Nations Royale. And that also means we could potentially see more maps. Still no mirror map, though to the patches and due to the bugs, basically.
Yeah.
But we saw now 4 matches in a row with double Erangel and a different decider. Do we see 4 Erangels and a 5th decider?
Well, have to wait and see. I've tried predicting things all week, but it hasn't been working really. So I'm just gonna.
I just wait for production to tell us.
Yeah, maybe we will find out someday.
We just tick tock, tick.
It's like the waiting sound when you're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they're taking time answering. Listen to this music.
There we go. Erangel, Sunhawk, Vikendi, Erangel.
So 3x Erangel should go to it, but I mean, my math in my brain, sometimes it works. Fighting 5 games into 2.5 hours. There are some players out there, 64 of them, that has to be world champions in reconnecting to servers to start the new games. If we want to do this,
super quick.
So I love casting PUBG. The more, the better. I love it. But if we want to go into 5 games, we got to start.
It's more fun to cast it if there's actually a server.
Yes, it does become a lot more entertaining to watch if the game can be played.
That is true. But that means if I cut it here, like there, Erangel, Sunhawk. So that's basically a typical best of 3 we had.
Yeah.
2 times Erangel,
It could
and
be,
then Sunhawk as decider. But we still got Vikendi afterwards, and then Erangel, because we will definitely minimum see Erangel, Sunhawk.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's the best of 3. Or we even go Vikendi and another one.
And also kind of like that. I mean, because should we go into the 5th map? Should it happen? And should we have the time to do it? Then we have had 2 Erangel games. One gets each their good game, potentially. And then we have had the Sunhawk game that could be the first decider. Should one get up 2-0? Then we had the Vikendi game that could be the decider for the other team. And then to bring it all, take it back to where we started.
Yeah, that will be an interesting one. Obviously, we didn't saw both nations so far because that's the first day for us here in the studio to cover the Americas nations Royale. Before that, we only did Europe. So bear with us when we now need to actually get into it, build up all the stories and figure out what happened. But we'll catch up. That's not a problem at all.
Of course.
And obviously, it's a great lineup, so I'm looking forward to a lot of action. But yes, they need to be super quick connecting. So we will cut down on pauses and breaks and everything. Cut down on talking as soon as we can. But for that, we actually need to have a game running. And then we just power through.
That's going to be the plan.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
And I'm sure the players are as well. I mean, think about it this way. You're talking 2 countries. 2 of the biggest, if not the 2 biggest countries actually in all of South America, right? They're pretty big countries.
Yeah, Chile is not.
It's just really long.
That.
It's just really long.
Yeah. It's just
the 2 biggest countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to wave that banner and say, "Ha! We beat you." I mean, I wasn't even playing for the Danish team, and I still got to say "ha" to the entire studio because we won, right?
And you did.
And I did a lot. And I'm done doing that now. Don't worry. There you go. Last time. But being able to do that for them, that's going to be such a great thing. I mean, one thing we brought up the whole football rivalry. It's well known to pretty much everyone around the world. But this is the PUBG rivalry, and this is the first time like they get to play the first match of pure rivalry against one another.
I mean, they're just happy that they're not playing Germany, because as far as I remember, the last time Germany played Brazil, wasn't that this 7-1? That was a hilarious score.
I just remember Germany. I can't find them in my papers.
Football.
I can't find Germany in my. Oh wait, Germany already got eliminated. That's right.
Oh, of course you had to say that.
Right. So no matter what he brings up now, guys, don't worry. Don't worry. PUBG Germany is already out.
Let me quickly see. So, yep.
Do you want to show the highlight video to the viewers as well?
No, all good. So, in the World Cup semi-final, Germany that was 2014 though, so that's not the latest one.
What happened after that? What happened after that? That's what I can see here.
Yeah, the latest one, Germany lost 1-0.
Oh, so you want to bring up old stats?
2014, Brazil won, Germany 7.
Yes.
Just so for me as German to have a chance to at least brag a bit, since we got eliminated on our very first match. As Germany was in the round of 16 immediately, not in the group phase.
Yeah.
We were in the round of 16 immediately. We had it on against Cyprus and Greece, and then we got eliminated.
I can tell you that Denmark once won the European World Championship in football. That's the only thing they've ever accomplished.
Denmark?
Yeah, once in their lifetime.
When?
In, I think it was 92.
Wow.
And guess who they beat?
Germany.
Germany! Hey! So guys, don't worry. They're not. He's just trying to bring you down, but I'll bring him down with you guys. Don't worry. I'm on your side. We're all against Rene. That's how it is now, by the way, in case you weren't aware.
You still need to work with me the whole evening. I'm just saying.
That is true. That is true. But I'll.
You can annoy the Swedish as much as you want, since their production.
No, I do that by my presence.
But I
don't even have to do. Yeah.
Just saying.
That is correct. Does have a fierce fist that could easily fly across the across the desk here.
Yeah,
But-
I need to be aware, not that my shirt is ripping apart just because, you know?
Yeah, but to talk a little game-related discussion.
Yeah,
Because there's
let's
one
go.
thing that I have seen that because normally you say, oh, PUBG is so random, circles here and there and everywhere, and 32 against 32, there's no pattern to it. But there kind of is. I mean, even though sure, a team can get really lucky circles, there is also the whole, because 4 guys against 4 guys, sure, you can kind of figure things out, but to be able to kind of grasp the overview of everything, being up against 32, it means that pretty much every decision-making becomes that much slower. Every single push becomes that much of a, how do we do this against so many teams, right? But the teams that have they've really had success doing it.
I like, first of all, yes, there had been patterns, and we saw that strategies can definitely win over pure circle luck.
Yeah.
So it's not down to luck at all. Not at all is probably not right, but you know what I mean? It's not just RNG factors. And on the other hand, with taking a decision for an entire team of 32 means, as you said already, it's a bit slower. If you really want to be quick, that's way harder.
Yeah.
And it's not just, oh, we're losing one team. We could actually lose an entire matchup because there's no chance for you to be 5th and still be good.
Exactly.
You know, like, we know in the Wingman series, we're like, oh, consistency pays off, right? As long as I stay inside the top 5, that's all right. There's no top 5 here.
You can consistently lose games and win.
Yeah, it's like, if you can be like, but every single game we came second.
Which
did not
is
help.
last place, so nope, that's
Yeah,
not
there's no way. Every decision means you might end up with losing the entire map and giving up one match.
And that's where it's been so interesting to see, right? Because we have these captains, and if you guys don't know who your country's representing captain is, jump over to play.gll, the GG. It's not only the guys playing right now, but you can see all the captains lined up for all the different regions. They'll be streaming the games on their streams as well, so you can hear how they send around and control their troops. But it's been interesting to see how they do it differently. I remember Waggy Jaggy, he was one of the guys who'd stay on the back line with a sniper, have his little chauffeur drive him around too, so he could like pinpoint and sort of point and click his soldiers around. Makes sense. Like at least the more modern commander, whereas to Damien from France, he just took the sword in hand, arrogant style, went on his spike and sent it full charge forward and just like drove his troops around the side, like around the whole of their angle.
Roman warfare.
Pretty much,
yeah,
right? So it's gonna be fun.
We're on a horse and then like,
yeah,
follow me, guys.
Just like the tourist sign. If you can see this flag, that is for the sign you follow. Follow this bike; it's honking all the time.
I love that on airports every single time. Everyone that's
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes I was like, whatever happens if I just join them?
I mean, you probably could. I've done a lot of free tours on museums that way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would never do that. No.
He does a lot of illegal stuff.
No.
We're just waiting.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, it's not like that we stole this. Again, we just wait wait until everyone gets ready in the lobby. And we know sometimes it's actually hard because when 32 people joining and 30 other 2 people and they all want to get the same slots as you, and they obviously need to get the right site, so flags and colors fit.
Yeah,
that might take a while.
Because one guy on the wrong team could mess it up for everyone, because that means that the other guy from the other team can't get around to
No spies. To make sure that there are no spies, we're heading to a short break, check everyone out, and then we're back with a match.
this head. Fall to my knees to be your girl. Are you really that deluded? I wouldn't touch you for the world. 'Cause I know, I wake up in the morning thinking this is my new love. And I know, we break up in a week because of your snowman syndrome. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Don't need your conversation, babe, I'm afraid you're out of luck. That's too much information. Don't care about models, that's whatever. I know, you wake up in the morning thinking this girl's dumb as hell. I know, no one could ever love you like the way you love yourself. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as.
Back again, the most lovely faces that you will find on Twitch at that time of the day.
Yay! Welcome. Thank you. Oh, I thought you were saying welcome to me, not the viewers.
Why should I say welcome to you? You did
Because
not
you're the
leave.
host and you welcomed your guest of honor.
Welcome, my guest on this desk, Toby. Toby, also
and
say,
as soon as you
say
show it,
hi.
they go into the game.
Say hi to this beautiful plane dropping 63 people onto the beloved island
Yes.
of Arangel.
And the pilot is not jumping with them.
Arangel Adventures is happy to present its newest full paid journey into the Arangel Whitelands. Obviously, for our Brazilian group, we decided to show them off a bit of Georgia Pole to see new ways of actually building small cities next to water, so they know all about that. And for the Argentina, we decided to send them over to Military Island to pick up some knowledge there, maybe left and right, and go back to their hometown and build a beautiful military island themselves.
If you ever want to go on like tour boats and be like the guide with the headset on, you have a great future in that.
Oh, God, no.
So clearly, I feel like somebody agreed on what sides they should go to here. Because, I mean, we've seen splitting out early on. We've seen not splitting out. But I think we've never seen anybody loot full, like, compact Brazilian style in... It's not only in South Georgia, but it's pretty much... I mean, they're all very, very close to one another. And honestly, I mean, there aren't that many vehicle spawns up here. I don't even think there are vehicles for everyone up here. And they didn't get the circle either. So, Argentina.
Yeah,
Circle.
they got
Nice.
the first circle. Once again, it's from Kamensky Stalba down to Mill to Power. As I said already, this time it's probably the closest group to loot that we've seen so far. Everyone went down to the beach, basically. Georgia Pole, some flying over to North Georgia Pole to the apartments and all the houses up there. It'll be interesting to see if that's enough and if they actually get to the circle and how they do it. Because as you said already, there might not be enough vehicles.
Yeah, they need to do the thing where they send a couple of people out to simply just like get vehicles. Send them out, pick some up vehicles, drop them up at vehicles, and then drive on back towards their teammates because they have their ways to go. Of course, this doesn't decide anything. Just the fact that they get the circles over towards them does not grant them a win off of it. But
I saw Poem in the Wingman series.
How did he do?
So he actually did well.
Well, then we expect nothing less from him here.
Yep, but this time it's not duo. It's entire country.
It's a 32-0.
It's 32-0.
Yeah.
But the Argentine team?
Argentinian?
Argentinian, is that the right word? All right. So the Argentinian, they actually managed to get some cars already. I mean, I like that they got the circle, but they also got military island in case of loot.
Yeah.
And then they just move up north. They just need to cross the bridge. There's no one that can stop
Yeah,
them
I
because
mean,
the
they're
entire
there.
Brazilian forces is in the west.
I mean, also we've seen the importance having control of that military island can have. Not too long ago, actually earlier today, when we had the France versus UK or United Kingdom game, where this first circle very much did go military, and well, I mean, yeah, even though the circle might not go there, it's good to send a couple of people down there to take some control.
That's true. We definitely won't see military island circle,
Not this time around, at
but
least.
Yasnaya is pretty much occupied by the Argentinian forces here. Harold is there, Nito is there, Denny, everyone hanging around
Yeah.
and just hunting for loot.
It's gonna be interesting to see how these team captains on an individual side, but like because we just compared some of them earlier, like how will they do things, and also secondly, how are they going to start? How do you call it? Like what kind of impact? First of all, will they have, and also if they go down, will that be the teams, all crying at disarray and not being able to get anything together anymore? Of course, they can still talk Discord. It's not that they have to be muted when they're dead. But how does things change when you see your captain fall? Is it going to be full anger and revenge mode, or is it going to be, oh no, what
I
do we
think
do?
that solely depends on the style of the captain. Is it someone
exactly.
that really takes the lead? Is it someone that just is like, there are people where people like together, but he's not really taking the lead, right? It's more like a passive lead.
Yeah,
And then there are obviously people that really lead their team somewhere,
Yeah.
and lead their group, which means if they lose him, they actually lose a big part of the team, even if it's only
True.
one person, because he's the one tying things together, leading, sharing the vision and the plan of what they want to do.
Yeah, correct. And also, as you guys can see here, it's not a big mistake. It is 110,000 billion% on purpose that we do have the red zones in play. It adds a little bit of a objective factor to the game. One thing is the circles themselves, but also what is a total mad warfare without artillery barrages being tossed in from the sides every now and again. So red zones are in the game, and today at least the kill count from them is 1. It was almost 4, but fortunately the other guys that got knocked, they managed to get rest and off safely. So as you can see right there, the red zone did indeed go down by Pachinki, but we also could tell everyone that there's no one in that area.
I'm wondering if Brazil might goes over to Cisnaya and then like shooting range, starboard. That
Yeah,
would be
go
great
north.
setup to shoot down to
They
Yasnaya.
could, I mean, honestly, they could go on both sides, but the thing is, now we saw them land this extremely close to one another, so you would assume them also to, well, I mean, at least to some extent, rotate with one another. I mean, at least that's the that would be the assumption, right? Everything considered, you have a whole bunch all looting North Jaws, while on the eastern side, you got the entirety of the Argentinian team splitting out in the first crate. First crate of the game, going down towards prison. AUG with a 15x, of course, not compatible with said weapon, but should you have yourself a sniper, then long vision could be sighted with such a magnificent scope right there. Rusty, making a rotation on in, all by himself so far, seeing if he can get some teammates picked up. Again, this is what I talked about just before. They have vehicles here, you can see it, but they're coming in now, I think, to the city from outside and picking up people, because they only have 3 vehicles right now, and there's around 8 or 9 players. Oh, there comes one more vehicle. But already 3 players in that one, too. So clearly, somebody will have to go out and find some more cars to drive, because I do not think that we have enough of them in here, because there are still a few players that might just have to make a run for a while. And so you're already Teknash and Kovat making the run on forward, realizing we are kind of short on wheels out here.
No worries. There's Georgia Paul dealership. It's led by a man from England. He's only selling cars mint condition, never been abused. Obviously, right-hand drive, so you need to live with that. But besides that, beautiful cars.
Are we just going to ignore that Ariel just got knocked by his teammate?
Oh, nowadays, I was wondering if he now really runs him over with that bike again.
He did hit him. I mean, he took a little bit of damage, but it fortunately did not become a kill. So he shot his teammate. But then again, guys, it is not a total thing necessarily. It could be. But the fact of the matter is that when you're this many teams, or this many players on one team, you're still spread into 8-man squads, which means that you have 4 8-man squads in each team, and those 8-man squads, you will be able to see those players like you would on a normal squad in competitive or in PUBG in general, where you have those name tags above their heads and all that good stuff. But the remaining players on your team, you can see the same way that you see your opponents. So if you know where they are, then of course you won't shoot them. But if someone just pops out of nowhere and you don't know if it's a friend or foe, then I mean, you'd rather be safe and shoot than try and play safe.
Yeah, we saw some different tactics of teams. Like some of them went for the same clothes. Then I think it was the UK that tried to establish the way of no tops at all for their team.
Oh, yeah.
To kind of figure out who is friendly and who isn't.
The no pants team, can we get one of those too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had that already.
Okay.
So
I mean, that makes sense. That makes
they're
sense.
different ways.
Yeah.
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 Frogman also in this. I think I saw Frogman in Wingman series as well.
Goes to show there is some high caliber players
Yep.
represented on both sides of the field. But I guess you were right in your assumption that the smart play to make here for Brazil would be rotated north, because that is indeed what happens. Circle, though, telling them to go back down or south where they came from.
Yeah, the real question now is do you go down from north to Yasnaya? Because, I mean, obviously they don't see it, but Argentina doesn't occupy it yet, right? You don't want to go down there if there would be an Argentinian squad, like a huge squad in Yasnaya right now. On the other hand, I think it would be kind of smart to now move down south over the west route, go down that those 2 bridges, and try to actually come from the side where the Argentinian team came from. Because obviously they're like, that's behind us. We checked it. There is no one.
Yeah.
But obviously they don't see the current spread on the side of the Brazilians.
They don't know
Since,
exactly.
they don't have the overview we have here. So
Fortunately not.
yeah, otherwise both teams would just rotate until
They're
death.
going in circles. Yeah, just keep going, keep going.
Wouldn't really help.
Now, we are in an area that we saw some skirmishes earlier today. I think it was the Turkish and Hungarian teams. They fought in the area down here. Sure, it was mainly on the other side of the road things were going down, but it was around here nonetheless. And now, this is kind of unfortunate because, as you can see, the Brazilian squad kind of wanted to rotate down south, but they're, right now at least, being completely held off by Big Red Zone. And they're all in vehicles, so it makes sense you don't want to go down there.
We'll see how it plays out. It's still pretty early in the match, right? So we're close to 11 minutes in, and it's the first one, which means they need to check out each other, you know, like figuring out how is everyone playing. And obviously Brazil is down by 1 due to how they connected to the server, but that won't really make a difference.
No.
But I think it's more about testing things out, testing the waters, trying to figure out what is the other team up to, and can we actually face them in a pure face-off.
And the thing here is also going to be, do you really have time to do that? Because it is only a best of 5. Sure, it's more than what we've seen before, but I mean, losing a game because you maybe were playing out of your own play style, a bit too passive, a bit too awaiting to see what they were doing, I don't think there's really room for it. But now, clearly, somebody is sending the info across that there is a whole bunch of vehicles making their way in from the west, and shots aren't deep being fired.
And it's actually the whole army. Like, everyone from the Brazilian team is moving the same route.
Full unit.
Yeah, they're not really into splitting right now. So let's see if that works. So far from the launch we have, I would say it's not a good idea.
Oh, no.
But maybe we just need to wait for the team that can really play this stuff.
We're talking about a famous player. He's also going to go down with the vehicle to the back of his face. But fortunately, Handy is going to say, sorry, and get him back up.
Yeah, Technarch back alive. Just knock real quick. Oh, Cobra. Did he really hit something? That was, I think it was 20 or 28.
Range shots, yep. Damage being done by multiple players now. They have them kind of not pinned down to the compound, but as you can see here, the buggy is visible. And if they can start doing some damage to these wheels, I mean, the circle's still a big one. So if you can prevent some people from being able to rotate, then that will be a great benefit to your team.
Yeah, taking some shots left and right. Not really connecting, though, yet. But it tells everyone a lot. Because now they know, like, all right, they picked the fight there. Seems to be a lot of people.
Yeah.
They decided to not bring everyone to that compound. Still, the split compared to Argentina, if you look on the other side, is completely different. Like, Brazil is 1 spot, 1.5 spots. And Argentina went for, all right, task forces. Like, 4 of them, move them around. Let's see if they really move on their own. now and like maybe flank and stuff like that, because then you see different styles of leading a team.
The thing is also how well can you really utilize an area if you put too many people in. We talked about having 4 guys in one shack. I mean, it's not going to pay off for you because you can only have 1 guy peeking out the shack anyway, right? So if you put 20 teams or 20 players in one compound, half of them won't be able to look, and if they are trying to look, they'll be shooting their teammates in the back of their heads anyway.
Look at that tasty hill there for Rubux.
A lot of players running around.
Everyone there, everyone just waiting to catch a bullet from him. So far, only 1 did.
And Argentina, instead of sitting in a 2-way split, they're actually splitting to 4 or 5 different positions. And that gives them these angles. There's no place, you can see it right now, there's no place at which the Brazilian players are free of sort of being out of the firing range. And Arthur, being the first guy to get knocked by opposing fire, might just also trying to block the damage. Kill them all.
That was actually pretty risky to go there with 2 people.
Extremely risky, but it's paying off. At least right now, Arthur, are you getting back up? Are you getting back up? They're already down by 1 guy from connection issues, and he gets rest, then immediately goes down again. But look at the commitment from the team. They're all saying, you know what, we will prevent you from going down. Multiple smokes being thrown now. They really, really know. I mean, they've been moving as a unit from the very start, and they will all take the big risk for 1 guy to get back up on his feet. That's a proper team power.
I still think that's slightly overdoing it in terms of smokes. I mean, you lose them, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you can pick them up
It's
again
a very
and
open
refill
area.
them. And Rubux still has vision on them. I mean, he took some damage, but only minor, 31.
Yeah.
And the Brazilians are still on this hill. Even if they have more of the circle behind them, the next shift, if it goes in the direction of Argentina, leaves them with just open field everywhere.
And that's the thing, right? Because they haven't really gathered a lot of terrain. At this point, they're still only committed to their own little area, and they have taken the yellow houses down on the eastern side of the volcano area in which we're in right here. But if they really want to get out of here and start fighting, it's going to be hard because you can look straight down south. Argentina has moved on around. Everybody is trying to flank in from the Argentinian side, but it's still a somewhat 50-50 split with the Brazilian players in the dead center. So who knows? 25 seconds to go.
Yeah, and we're 15 minutes in so far. No one got killed. We saw a first knock, but no one got killed.
That's your teammates, guys.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, he was looking like, there's a smoke, guys.
Uh-oh.
Should I need to intervene?
Gotta communicate it. You gotta communicate it. That's gonna be up to the income leader, right? Because he must be the one to know where he has sent all his his sergeants, all his lieutenants. So he must be the one to say, guys, don't shoot south. We have teammates down there.
Losing overview, especially in those moments where a team pushes, might be something that loses
It could be crucial. It could be crucial for your team. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting angles that Argentina created now, though. I mean, it might look like, oh, Brazil, they got most of the circle.
They do.
Basically, they do. But the 2 teams south, if they get rid of Massa down there and Andy, they might be able to push up. Because you see that they're, like, in the middle, they're obviously fighting with Laureate and the group around there. Which, they are migrating. Look at them. They're going back.
They are trying to make their way around, and it kind of makes sense. They're looking to scout forward now. They're going down to take this Alamo spot down here, too. And they just need to take anything they can. If they can push up, they can pin them down. Again, not getting info is potentially the best info you can get, because that means that nobody's shooting at you, and also that you can pin, like, give it even more info to where they possibly can be, because it's limited where you can hide 31 players within a circle. So they're very much pinning down the opportunity for Brazil to really get anything here.
Yeah, we're getting to the time now where action will happen, just because we're still fitting over 60 people in such a circle.
If not this circle, then the next one for sure. Because we're going to be excluding, well, if not majority, then some of the compounds for sure. And no matter where it goes, okay, if it goes center, everyone's out, fight in the open. If it goes to either side, one team is out, run in the open. So, I mean, fights will happen now, that's for sure.
So much sniper rifle. That's what we got here in this small circle. But it seems like Argentina picked up another one. Nananga was knocked at least. Still no kill. 17 minutes in. Oh, that's the first push. Argentina moves into the small compound. Pome actually gets Mufasa. Rubux falls early to Mufasa as well. Arthur down, and it seems like Brazil might be coming up on top. Ayaponde finally dies. Handy Who gets picked up by his own teammate, probably shooting from behind. But it was Argentina that losing people here. Handy Woo, they're trading. Arthur falls, Handy Woo falls, Shapira falls.
Everyone is going down now. Fights and shots coming in from multiple sides. The wave number 1 has been cleared, but wave number 2 is coming in to follow. Royale is doing everything he can to single-handedly hold out the Argentinians, but look at how many are committed to this push, and down he goes inevitably. He did his best. He killed 5 players, or at least got the 3 kills and 2 knocks to it, but in the end he would go down as well.
Harald also killed his teammate.
Oh, that's something that happens.
And a grenade coming in to clean up. Wow,
there's so many
people
Look
now.
at the grenade damage coming in now. Nintendo, 3 knocks with a single one there.
Manual red zone, basically. We see all the grenades in there, and a lot of cars. Drakmat might fall to another grenade. No, that pops off. Chocolatio is still in. Drakmat tries to pick up his teammates. The bar gives support, but everyone jumping on that small compound. Carnage!
And everyone is committing to it. Look at the amount of vehicles being exploded in this area. Absolutely insane. There is so much field to be played around, but nope. They're taking it straight to the compound right here.
And my heart goes boom, boom, boom. Look at that. There's still so many Argentinians left. Not anymore.
Wow.
They're just getting finished up right now. Seems like the Brazilians can conquer this. Like basically try to hold this small compound. They all got reinforcements coming from the back. And Nathaniel, Massa, they're all joining this fight now while they need to wait for the third wave of Argentinians. Obviously, we talked about they were split onto 4 to 5 groups, so they're way slower in moving into this.
This is insane. Brazil got pushed, and it seems to be working so well for Argentina for just a short amount of time. But then all of a sudden, all those vehicles that they came in with, that they had for cover, became the death of them because they were nade magnets and just expanded those explosions crazy. Look at how many vehicles are here.
I mean, there's still 3 alive, though, but that won't really help. Leonardo Leox tries to picks up another one on the open field, but this now became a slaughter fest so quick. Argentina is down to 10. Brazil still on 22. It seems like in terms of close quarter combat, the Brazilians doing a way better job now, and they still have support from the back with the sniper rifles here, shooting at Sanji, who falls to Natalia. So down to 9 now. I think that's probably the end for Argentina.
I mean, you talked about moving as a unit and it could be dangerous, but here Brazil said, well, we ain't waiting. We ain't wasting no time. We got people that need our help. When one guy got knocked, they committed 4 guys to resing him. When the team got pushed, well, they sent the remaining players down and hell broke loose. 22 alive still for Brazil. And Furia now trying to see if they can get themselves the remaining damage done over towards Argentina.
Yeah, they fully committed to that one compound that they didn't want to lose to the Argentina, and it seems like that was the right call because now they're just running around cleaning up. Yeah, look at that. And he goes going in with the car. Did he pick up someone?
There's no fear, no fear in the eyes of the Brazilian team.
And they're going hard onto the
They're just driving through.
Another Dacia flying along, the flying Dacia here.
Wow.
Rusty Zera now pushing up the hill. Might be able to pick up one. Yeah, he got Tuta. The Nunga falls on the other side. But it seems like this will be end 5 to 19. I don't expect them to be able to turn around.
They're running them over all over the place.
It became an autobahn.
They're sending in the cavalry. Now they're also running over their teammates and shooting them. Guys, it's not over. We still have 2 players to kill.
Yeah, not over until that one specific lady sings, you know?
And she did.
And yeah, she did. Argentina, 0 to 17. But even if that might sound a bit like on the dominant fashion, 17 to 0, I think it was solely down to this one push. It could have gone either side, because right now we don't know enough about the teams to really say like, oh yeah, it was down to pure shooting skill.
That was insane nonetheless. I mean, clearly Brazil values the life of every single player on their team. And, well, I mean, they did everything they could to keep that first guy alive. And when the push came down to the compound, they were saying, there's no way in hell we're going down here.
4 or 5 people, and then that.
And they were blocking him off to get the rest on. I mean, so many smokes thrown. And, well, look at this. They're all rotated together.
Yep, that was unlikely so far. We didn't saw a team being successful with that. The Brazilians proved to be the first, moving as one unit, and then this. It was actually Argentina starting this.
They did. And look at that one nade. The amount of damage. 4 knocks with 1. There would be a triple knock coming in just moments later as well, and gets himself a double there too. They did everything they could to push up towards that area, but it became the death of themselves in the end.
Yeah, grenades were proving useful, and then we saw everyone just diving left and right with the Dutchies trying to pick up someone.
I like that. I mean, late in the game, chaos all over the place. There's no way in hell you get time to just stand still and spray the vehicle, right? Because there's so many more sort of imminent threats. Send in those vehicles. You have the numbers to your advantage. Use them as your cavalry to just roll over the opponents.
That was a match number 1 Brazilian. They take it. So
Crazy.
1 for Brazil, 0 for Argentina. But after that push they lost, I'm pretty sure they're coming back with new strategies and
Maybe.
even more fours. So let's see that after the break. from the window to the wall. That's exactly how they dominate them in that compound. Brazil taking map number 1 against Argentina.
I had a hard time seeing where you were going with that one.
Oh,
But
really?
It all
But
made
you know the
sense in
song,
end.
right?
Well, obviously. Obviously.
This one.
I've seen all my my Fast and the Furious movies and played Need for Speed and all those
Yeah,
things.
it was interesting. But I mean, that particular line is in so many different songs.
From the compound to the other compound. I mean, yeah.
That was what they did with the cars.
We had another song we liked to
So the
use for this one.
compound to the tree.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. That was also a good one for PUBG.
True.
Yeah, we had that one last week. That was
Oh, didn't even think about that one yet.
good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, man.
Literally knocked down,
Yeah.
but get back up again. That's what they did last game.
Oh.
Brazil committed 4 guys to the life of one. He must have been an important player. Maybe that was the maybe that was the guy who was the one in charge of who gets to join the team. It's like, where's him?
He's like,
Shield
there's that one
wall,
guy,
shield
he
wall.
just created a new pro team at an esports org. It's like everyone wants to be friends with him. It's like, pick him up.
Yeah, he must
Go.
have been a very, very important guy, that Arthur 44, because he clearly had a full rescue team coming in for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Normally it doesn't happen to me. Like, if I die, then everyone on my team's like, again, no one picks me.
They go over to you like, oh, so, what?
They shoot at me.
He has a car 98. I can't rest you. My button is
Oh,
not
yeah,
working.
yeah.
Sorry.
Die.
Sorry, it's not. Oh, car 98. Nice. Good guys.
So, yeah, sad story. Welcome to my life.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Best of 5 means nothing is decided yet. We still got at least another 2 maps. Depends on if Brazil will take this
Yeah.
in a clean sweep or not.
Yeah, I mean, also for Argentina now, I know it might not be that much of a thing to go in and watch VODs and stuff to see how things pan out. But if Argentina at some point figure out that Brazil tends to just move as one big unit, as soon as they see the first player, they're like, good, we know where everyone else, and then they can start kind of planning accordingly,
Grid
right?
grenades.
Yeah,
All
just like,
direction.
they're
Go
all
in,
there.
grenades.
They're all there. No, but I mean, honestly, if they see that first couple of cars, they'll know they're all coming this way. They can give that info to their in-game leader and react they can pin them down completely. Because we have seen multiple teams not take enough ground, and that has been the downfall for them.
It was... I like the setup on the Argentinian side with 4 teams,
Yeah.
4 to 5.
Yeah.
The problem was, as soon as they committed to that compound, they didn't, like, while Brazil committed completely to it, they were throwing in people like, you got 1 squad, then they were like, oh, we might be
Yeah.
able to help the last guy out. Then they threw the next squad,
Yes.
they're totally ripped apart, and then they were like, maybe a 3rd squad does help? And then they were giving a 3rd squad in there, like, that's it.
It was as if they sent in a squad, and then they thought it through to the point at which we'll send in a squad. And then when they got there, it's like, wait, what happens now? And then, everyone exploded.
It was like, so you either send all of them at the same time, like the
Yeah, that's
Brazilians
normally
did,
how things work.
and try to turn this around, because
Yeah.
they were obviously the one that decided to attack this compound.
Yeah.
So there had to be a backup plan somewhere.
There
But
wasn't.
the reaction was just too slow. They weren't, I think, it was them being afraid of, they saw losing there,
Yeah.
and they were so afraid of losing overall that they were just super slowly with deciding who's going there, which in the end lost them.
Also, in
the map.
honesty, nades all over the place, vehicle constantly
Yep.
smashing in, smokes everywhere, everybody spraying like crazy people at each other. Even if you're trying to tell people what to do, I don't think a lot of info really comes across in the heat
That's
of the
true.
moment there.
That's true. I mean, there was probably chaos.
It was
reigning at that
chaos.
moment.
It was
Communication is kind of hard, especially in such a small compound. I mean, we saw
Yeah.
how one of the Argentine players, or no, the Brazilian players, he tried to clean up in that house. He shot the guy that was knocked.
Yeah, he was doing
but he also
everything he
shot his
could.
own teammate
Yeah.
at the same time. It was just like
Everything
two
is going down.
Yeah, 2 knocked people right in front of me. They're all crawling together. Must be teammates.
Well, obviously.
So yeah, shooting all of them. Unfortunately, not all of them had been friendly. No, it
Yeah.
had been enemies. But yeah, that can happen. In the
does.
grand scheme,
It does.
did not really make a difference. to
Not
them.
at all. Not at all. I mean, he
17-0.
he tried to make it easier for them.
Yep.
Didn't change the thing. They still managed to get out on top. But honestly, I must say, I know it was a small thing and it was hilarious to watch, but I actually liked the fact that they used vehicles in the end. Because they had the numbers in place. Nobody, I mean, it's very, if they have 3 smokes thrown and there's X amount of people remaining, send a vehicle through that smoke. I mean, what are they gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do
still,
about it?
I'm just afraid that if they think they're on a roll, at one point that behavior might cost them a map. If they
Maybe.
just imagine.
Maybe.
Let's assume the second would be similar now.
Yeah.
And on the third one where they can close, they just YOLO it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Argentina is like, that's
Yeah,
it,
they
we
just
got you
activate
guys.
the boosters. Yeah, true. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
You know, you can be too cocky, that's it.
That yeah, that,
one
oh
point.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That is a thing. Don't underestimate your opponent. That has been downfalls for
Don't underestimate
For
my
many.
powers!
that too, I guess.
And also, my powers. Don't underestimate him.
Austin Powers. What?
We can go to every single topic tonight. Whatever there is in the world, we make sure we kind of drop it into this broadcast at one point.
Yeah, if it's out there, it will be mentioned. Also,
I
what
really
we
wanted to say
also
something, and I was like,
what we
no.
could mention is that if you like Apex, then one day when we're not here casting this amazing game, you can go and try and play because GLL have just brought up a tournament.
You just decided to go for that segment yourself without lower third, nothing. Like
I was expecting. I mean,
so I'm currently like basically analyzing your performance tonight, and I just saw
Ooh.
how you did that without any cue, no lower third, production wasn't ready.
you know
I
what?
think that's a thumbs down.
For me, that one right there was a yeah, could probably have been done differently. But then again, I mean, they could always bring it up now if they wanted to. And
No, now they do it. They do it on purpose and
no,
not
because they
think
want to
about
make me look bad.
It's like, we have no clue what he was talking about.
What? What? There's a tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some guy on Twitch talked about
This music is not really helping the emphasis at all either. It's just like tick tock,
it. The one in the background.
tock. Yeah, exactly. It's like nah. Okay.
It's kind of, I'm just happy that it's not louder, because I think if you would hear that louder and we wouldn't constantly talk, just sit here and wait, it kind of gets you nervous.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's the
Because it's like-
anticipation. This is
Yeah.
what all the people in the plane right now are feeling, right? They're just seeing, walking into the hollow plane. Have you ever seen Hair, the movie? Or the musical or anything? Where in the
No.
end he walks into the airplane and he knows like he goes into the dark abyss and he knows that once he jumps out again, it's gonna be all war, right? This is the last he'll ever see of the civilian world. And well, he dies. No spoilers.
What was that? Something just, oh, that was the
I'm
background.
not sure. I'm not.
What was
yeah.
that?
It's our pulse.
Wait, yeah, that was
Tudum.
weird.
Is he?
Is that my
I can.
face?
Now.
Where is it?
Oh, he's
Do it
fast.
again.
Do it again.
I'm watching.
We want more. It's not happening.
That's my face.
It's a pretty.
I made
face,
it.
Some might say.
I can be in the broadcast while being in the broadcast. Did it?
It is a skill that very few
I'm my own
possess.
duo now. You can leave. Go on. All right, we heard that we're on Spawn Island. That means we close to actually getting in our second game. I'm sorry for all the
Oh.
chit chat we did until
We're
then.
having a ton of fun, guys, and that's the most important thing here. We're having fun, and this being a tournament, of course, we have not revealed any prize pool. We have not done the oh, this is this tournament from here and there. We have talked about the teams, but we haven't. We just this is a take on it that is, to me at least, more about us having a hell of a good time, and we have been having a hell of a good time with all the games played today, in particular the last one too, and we're hoping that with a bit of our assistance and bad jokes, we can help you guys have a good evening too.
That was so lovely.
Did that make up for me talking about Apex without being?
I'm
edited?
not sure though.
I really tried there.
But I'll give you, like, you know, back in the days at like basic school, you know, like the first years, and you get like a stamp when you did something good.
We didn't do
Is
that.
is that not a thing in Denmark? Like in Germany, when your homework was great or something like that, you got like a star. And when you got a star and you got like 3 of them, you actually got one forget your
Giant
homework.
star. Wait, what?
Yeah, so it was like, normally it's in Germany when you forget your homework, they actually make you write something for your parents, or they call your parents or whatever and say like, hey, your son, you forgot homework. So if you got enough good homework, they allow you
to skip, and you can just you can pick the assignment yourself.
Yeah, and just like forget it.
Like in university, I will skip my bachelor. Free
Since we're still waiting,
pass.
since we're still waiting, and I'm pretty sure that at that time of day, like, let me see, it is now nearly midnight. I'm pretty sure none of my previous teachers is watching, nor the university. I can tell you that on the entirety of my last years at school, so probably...
Which school, where was it, and what year was it?
So from when I started to go by bus to school, so from 7th grade to my exam in 12th grade, I was either doing my homework in the bus, or right before the lesson started, or not at all, or copied it from someone.
So you never had any hard homework since you could do it so quickly, or? I mean, normally don't you have to spend a little more time with homework, maybe? I mean, if you have to write like an essay, could you do it on the bus towards the school?
That was actually.
Oh, that was when
really
you were
good at that.
copying stuff.
No.
Oh.
Like for example, every single time you had to write a text, I actually only wrote notes, and then when they choose me to present my homework, I was just looking at my notes and making all the sentence up.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Like when
kids
we were
can't
casting.
copy that.
Just like when we were casting.
Yes. I also studied to become a teacher and never teach. That's probably the reason why.
Renee has two sentences, start, end, and then in between it's like just fill.
Yeah, basically that's it. It's a bit like doing this, right? There we go. Argentina decides to cover the East. They got a small scout force.
Brazil
that
is
heads
spreading
to the
out a bit.
left. That's the West.
Yeah. And somebody's going Pachinki.
Yep.
There's a bit of a split now.
At
A bit of
least
a
we
yin
hope
and
so.
yang.
Sometimes Pachinki is kind of left alone. For whatever
Ragnar is
reason.
going, whoops. I think I should jump out the plane now.
Yeah. I mean, he's still in.
He is safe.
Yeah. No worries. Maybe you find some new friends on the other side.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
this tournament is not just about fighting war on a virtual battlefield. It's also about making friends,
Yeah.
having fun, streaming a bit, and putting on a good show.
That's actually an aspect we haven't really talked about. At least, I don't know if you talked about it previously before I came in to join, but the whole thing, because normally, I mean, sure, military, by the way. Let's just embrace that for a half second.
It's like camera guy couldn't hide excitement there. It's like, oh, military.
How does Brazil win this one?
This looks similar to UK France in terms of the split of the team and where they landed.
All of the Pachinki guys right now should be sending it straight down towards ferry pier and take all the boats and sail them to military. Sit over on the other side and be like, ha ha, you know? Just take the boats away from anyone trying to rotate. Because right now, you have the chance to make it a living hell for the Brazilian team. And they've already just won one game. So if you want to have a chance at besting them, what is that, 4 or 5 boats? Is there any more as we go along? 6 boats? That's a 6 boat between ferry pier and Primorsk, or between the bridge and Primorsk. They can prevent 6 possible boat rotations from Brazil.
I'm just wondering
Off
if
of
we
that.
see something similar in terms of setup if the circle stays there, which is very likely.
I mean, they have to cover the bridges, right?
Yeah. So if they go for a bridge setup like the UK was trying to do, or if they try to move a bit freely, I mean, on the other side, if there is a team that could push with full strength across a bridge, it's probably the Brazilian team.
Yeah. There are a surprisingly high amount of boats here, not gonna lie. And a jet ski, 4 or 5. 6 over there as well. Nice little spawn we got in there. Okay, so a total of 12 maritime vehicles on the southern shoreline, I guess you can say. There are going to be some. Yep, thank you for the little draw up there. And there's probably some over by Milta and some on the western side of Primorsk as well. But 12 from the Milta bridge down towards Primorsk. And at least the majority of those could be taken by Argentina now. Because you know for a fact, oh, there's one taken already. You know for a fact that it's going to go military. It's not going to go north here. I mean, the center point of the circle has to be on land. Thus, the center point cannot be in the water at this point.
I mean, I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest.
No, I'm happy about it too. But
Yeah.
I'm just surprised by these guys not doing more to prevent a potential Brazilian rotation.
The problem is, are they really aware of it yet? Or is, some teams might be just stuck in their looting phase, not checking yet. So they loot first, and then someone looks at the map and says, like, guys, we should probably set up like this.
This guy is clearly not looking where he's driving. Because he's looking, there's a crate in the water! And I'm on a bike. Oh.
Yeah,
But,
they don't really swim well. though.
Bikes or crates?
Both. Kinda.
Okay, so vehicles have been
Kinda.
taken by the Pachinki team. They are now leaving. Makes perfect sense. But where are the Brazilians? Have they started making their way down? Because clearly they have to go at some point. But no, none of them have started rotating yet.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, Argentina clearly moves, obviously.
yeah.
Since they know it's military island. They got it under control right now. They can set
Yeah.
up bridge traps and all that. Brazil, same as map 1, taking a lot of time over there at Georgia Pole, just making sure that they got the right loot. But I said, I think they can really go hard into this. Like,
Yeah.
if they managed to do that with one big pool in map 1, why shouldn't they be able to take a whole bridge back and go on to Sosnovka Island? I would love to see that.
Are we seeing the vehicle blockades on the bridge? It seems like a lot of vehicles are going down towards that western bridge. Could be a potential blockade coming in. It seems like they're all so kind of putting all their focus on the western bridge. I mean, sure, they still have people on the mainland on the east, but not a lot of people are really committing to that eastern bridge side to try and control that area.
See, Pommy is already setting up there. Shikitin is coming in. He was also in the Wingman series.
But not any vehicle blockades. Why?
Maybe they need them for later. I don't know for what, though.
That's what I'm saying. They have like 16 cars down there. Just blockade stuff.
Maybe they just want to have the most cars.
They want to make it a surprise. We're not here. Shh.
They just park them. This huge parking lot. Huge parking lot. And then Brazil will come around. It's like, what's this?
No one's here. Let's just go forward. Because that's what they would do. I mean, honestly, as you said, if they just all go together, it's kind of hard to blow up 16 vehicles, even if you're 16 people shooting at them, right? Because you want to focus X amount, and you also have to reload in the middle of everything. So, so hopefully, we'll see, just like we saw with France and the United Kingdom, that they actually manage to get across somehow. I'm not sure how it's going to happen, but hopefully it will. Teknosh and Arthur, they are making their way down south, and hopefully their team now will make the push after them. Here are the guys they left behind without vehicles.
I mean, if they really got all of them, is there achievement for that?
For what?
Having all the vehicles?
Well, I mean,
there should be one, right? That would be great. All right, so they got the western bridge right now set up.
Yeah.
The eastern still looks kinda open, but with them being at Georgia Pole before once again, it's likely that they obviously go to the western bridge. But they still have a squad, up there. We see
they're coming there.
Matthias Agriv, Nito, they can all help out there.
Yeah, coming a bit later, they'll have the chance to take full control of the eastern side too. And you see the south is being controlled by Pandy. And yeah, again, I mean, this is probably the only, not unfair, because it's never unfair, because they could just have went there too, right? This is probably the only very, very one-sided circle you can get in a Nations Royale kind of format.
Definitely. I mean, the military circle, unless you see two teams that risk. Do they really shoot that?
They're trying, clearly.
Because we saw that when actually two nations tried to contest for Military Island in previous matches. But yeah, if the other team decides to not go there because they think it's unlikely that the circle goes there, and then the circle actually drops right on top of it.
Just as a safety precaution, you should just always send like 4 guys. Enough people down there to hold off, like to prevent another team from bridge camping. So if you can send a couple of guys down, even because as soon as you see like 1 minute 30 in, you will know whether it's going to go military or not, right? So just send them down so that if it goes military, you will guarantee at least 1 bridge for your team to rotate over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still just wondering, and I would love to see and figure out how teams, like how soon are they thinking about the the bigger picture and how to decide where they rotate early on. Because I think it's down to these first minutes where they loot, and some teams don't bother at that moment about what's happening.
I mean, France played it pretty smart. They waited for so long and then rotated back in the blue that they actually got the British team to move away from the bridge and allowed for them to cross. Now, as we talk about the blue, it is being more and more of a factor. And once again, talked about the Brazilians being a very, very committed team.
All of them,
and,
one side.
Seems like they have figured out what bridge they want to cross.
I want to see that. I want to see all of them trying to pass that and break through the defense line set up by Argentina.
I mean, they're clearly down here. They're clearly down here in numbers, showing themselves. And the vehicle blockade! The blockade has been made.
You know all those videos where people do that in GTA just to see everything explode? That's what I expect
that's what's
here.
happening.
Yeah, that's what I expect here. Because they need to go through, so they can't drive through. They probably saw that already because they got scopes, right? They watched down the bridge, and they looked down the bridge, and they were like, all right, guys, we can't go through this, so...
Oh, they're sending
Oh,
it.
they're driving?
They're not afraid. First blockade, they can go here. There's no fear in that.
Kit,
Just don't run over each other.
Oh, Technosh, look, he's
He's
the
up there.
first
He's
one,
up there.
yeah.
He's not afraid. He's up there. But what do you do? Because if you start popping the wheels on the vehicles like they're doing right now, that's only going to make them harder to move.
Yeah, I mean, if they explode, then you can also not really move them away. So
This is where we need a red zone on the
they're
bridge,
going
but
in.
on the south.
I think they're just crashing in. There we go. Play the Valkyrie song. Hire is coming at the barricade and it's missing. Really?
Anticlimactic.
It's like everyone was waiting for the big explosions. Like not.
It's coming now, though.
That
It's gonna-
grenade, yeah, that cost him his life.
So
basically.
step number one, not working. Push number one has been a failure. Will push number two commence, or will they just stop in the middle and hope something works their way? Because they're clearly all sending it now. Full speed forward,
Oh, Natalia.
running each other over. Not gonna help. Alita doing everything possible to get some damage done, though.
Did it try to jump down?
I mean, either you commit. It's like the same thing we saw with Argentina in last game. Either you commit all, or you don't commit in this situation. They are, though, as you can see, they are.
Oh, they're dropping. Yeah.
They are sort of baiting them into focusing once on the bridge, while teams are indeed Navy sealing themselves in from below.
From
Below.
below.
From below.
Mufasa is there. Technosh actually
Mufasa.
survived. Musta will probably die out. But Reeleen is already through. That
Oh,
might
no.
be the first one. John Quick is
this
quick on wheels.
Is
at
this,
least.
is it the vehicle full speed ahead? Clear the bridge. Oh, no, it's not. It's something. Double level 3 with an AWM. That's going to be scary. Oh, was it an AWM? I couldn't tell. But it is indeed a beach push that's not going to be easy to make, that's for sure, because the entirety, again, when you know at this point that it's the entirety of Brazil moving together, there's just no reason to focus elsewhere. They know exactly where they have them all.
Brazilian D-Day, basically. Them landing on the
Yeah.
beach there, trying to conquer Military Island. But I think this is already a lost case.
And some of them are driving back now, too. They're realizing, well, I mean, this clearly didn't work out the way that we wanted it to. And Mufasa will no longer be the king of the savannah because he's down.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's a lost case. The Argentinians have a great setup there at the bridge. Will be super hard. Oh, Harold even missing, not missing some, connecting some shots there. It will be super hard for them to get anything going. Because as soon as they come up there, from under the bridge, they find themselves in crossfire immediately.
He's just spraying through all the smoke. Rusty is trying to do something to push damage in return, but as you can see here, there is simply not anywhere for these players to go. Down to 19 already, and Argentina has yet to lose their first player.
Yep, that might be a huge blowout win here for Argentina. I don't want to say it now, but it's
Has that
looking
happened
like
yet?
that.
32-0? Has that happened yet?
We had pretty crazy scores, but not.
Nope, not gonna
32,
happen
no.
here either. Sensi taken down, not a whole lot more to it, but that's just one player still taken out for Argentina with half the team
You
from
need to
Brazil
start
down.
somewhere.
Now the boats come in. Too late, maybe, but we'll see.
You need to start
We've
somewhere.
seen crazier
and,
things happen. Yeah.
If they get a small task force, but no, look.
Don't. Yeah, yeah. They gotta give credit for trying.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that they're flexible enough
Yeah.
to decide for different plans now. I'm just not sure.
The other
if
push
it's
was
enough.
just a bait.
Yeah,
They were relying on these
31-30,
four.
just
They
a
were
bait.
relying on these four
Yeah.
guys. This is the kill squad that we talked about, right? They were relying on. He's even called Frogman. He is clearly the Navy SEAL of his team, and they will come in from behind now, and they will just completely and utterly kill it one.
Back like the old Commanders game.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now. They're going in there. They are behind enemy lines with just
Yeah.
a small team, and they'll take all of them. But
That's
it's
what they're doing.
unlikely.
They're splitting them apart too. Super smart strategies coming out here.
Bestest, at this moment, there might be more Brazilian players in the circle than Argentinian players. Look
Exactly.
at
Now
this.
they just hold them off. Perfect play. They got the compound too. Easy win for Brazil. 10 against 9 against 31. Well, I mean, they're in a 1-2-3, but wasn't the Spartans kind of outnumbered in 300 as well? And they made that work for a while, right?
But that was a Hollywood movie. This
No,
is
it
the
happened in
real-life
real
esports
life.
world.
It happened in real life. It's completely
Yeah, but it was
based on a
probably
true
not
story.
the same. All right. I'm not
Complete
arguing with
face
someone
who is that factually right,
yeah,
obviously.
who might have been there.
Yeah, well, duh. Have you not seen the movies? It's like a documentary.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I saw the movies actually.
Yes.
One of the movies that never really had any
Wait,
real
there are
background.
more than one?
No,
Isn't
there's
it all about one
there's
fight?
There's several movies where there's no background. Did you never realize in 300 there's not really a background? It's always that same screen showing like a color, basically. Look at it. It's a very small
I
scene.
never thought about that.
Yep, have a look.
Huh. You're far away from the circle, buddy.
It kind of is. I'm not sure if he will make it.
Odds are that he won't. But at least for now, the Brazilians, they were saying, you know what, it's not enough for this compound. We must go further towards the center. And, well, I mean, it's not exactly paying off the way they were hoping it would because they are starting to take casualties once again.
Yeah, down to 9 now. Still against 31. Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's not exactly the best situation. And, well, what could have been a 3-game series now at least will be a 4-game one. But fortunately, this red zone could be the difference maker. Look at the amount of explosions that could happen. We could have the entirety.
Oh.
We could have half their team wiped within seconds because they've all bailed their vehicles in the blockade. Oh, there are some vehicles.
Imagine how Brazil.
How many
Brazil went
players?
to then-
How
to
many
that.
players? Oh, for urinating yourself. Oh, he was the one in the blue. So that doesn't matter. But how many players will we lose off of this? Come on, be fair game. Kill some people.
Wow, this.
They're just hitting everything that's not players.
Oh, dear.
I mean, the chance at this point is bigger to hit at least someone. There you go.
Oh,
First
yeah.
guy down. First guy down.
Oh, someone died to
He
blue.
died to the blue. Yep, he was knocked already. So
Down
not a
to
whole lot more to
29.
it. One more knocked to the blue. Okay, so the guy that went out to rest him got knocked to the blue.
Yeah, but
5
Brazil is
against
down to
29. Yeah, make that 4 because Velo is knocked. Make it 3 because Frogman is knocked. They're starting to shoot each other though. That could help. That could help for sure. For sure. For sure. And they still have the houses. Never underestimate a good house. 3 guys alive now. Molotovs. It's not exactly making things easier.
Nope, that's the end for them there.
We still have Leonardo. If he is indeed who I think he is, the turtle from Ninja Turtles, and the blue one, and the captain, he will at least kill one guy.
Yeah, but
he's not
someone set fire to the rain already. We saw it
he's-
there in the
he's
building. He's laying on the couch.
very traumatized.
Chilling
Clearly.
out, yeah.
He did not have the
Yeah.
best experience on a rankle this
Not
game.
at all. 26-0. Slightly unspectacular
That
last
is a
seconds,
whooping.
but I think everything else paid off for it.
In all fairness, I admire what Brazil does with the whole one man, one team, one unit. But here,
Win together, die together.
yeah, but here it was more of a die together because I think they had a chance, only because Argentina never did anything to prevent it.
Yep.
They could have gone down earlier. They could have taken those boats because they were on the west coast. They could have rotated down really early on, taken those boats, and just sent it across like immediately. Look at already there. Just go across, start looting on the island.
Well, we saw H11 Junior. He tried to go vroom, as he said.
He only have room though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only vroom.
He only
The room
Yeah.
and boom was missing, but there was a grenade
Yeah.
then that made boom. And
it was
took
just
his
on
life.
him though. So yeah, exactly. It didn't really pay off the way that he
A
wanted.
beautiful barricade.
I gotta say, exactly. Credit where credit's due. That barricade. I
Parking
would-
skills
Solid.
on point.
Solid 8.5 out of 10.
Only 8.5?
Yeah, because
How
there
would-
could have been more vehicles.
Okay.
They could have made a 3-layer.
And then Red Zone that kind of tried to help and even things
Yeah.
out here. I mean, Red Zone killed more people than the Brazilian team did.
The Reds will kill one.
The Red Zone with Blue together killed like 3 or 4.
Okay,
Why?
with blue together. With blue
So
together.
we're down to 26. I
Yeah.
think that the, city building games would say the natural disasters cost more lives than the Brazilian weapons.
Might have been the case. So nonetheless, that was game number 2. And we're at 1-1 now. So
Yeah.
things are getting tight. And hopefully these guys will figure out somehow who is going to win this. Because again, we are kind of running a tight schedule today.
That's why we hurry up. Tight series. We're back with
Game number 3.
somehow map 3 right
Yeah.
off the break.
fall to my knees to be your girl. Are you really that deluded? I wouldn't touch you for the world. 'Cause I wake up in the morning thinking this is my new love. And I know we break up in a week because of your smart man syndrome. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Don't need your conversation, babe, I'm afraid you're out of luck. That's too much information. Don't care about models, that's ya. Whatever. I know. You wake up in the morning thinking this feels dumb as hell. I know. No one could ever love you like the way you love yourself. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it. Baby, I don't give a, do I look like I'm in love? You want it, nah, you can't get it. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego.
a.m. Should be dreaming. Might be street wet, rain from the evening. Light breeze, cheeks wet, came from the season. Might leave, we met, changed for a reason. Came in, rearranged, then leaving. Rain in the season, pray for the men, and pray for the feeling, pray for the healing. Stay, don't ease it. Stay, I mean it. Stay, I mean it. 808s and heartbreaks for the setting. Match made in heaven, minor chords with the 7. You came bundled up, but I preferred you in less though. What a fucking mess though, I can tell you was stress so. Sing that duet at your request by your side. What a fucking pleasure, no fucking pressure. I memorized it all to the last fucking letter. What a fucking treasure. I fit it all in these extreme fucking measures. Trying to leave, it's pouring down. New pot of tea, it's boiling now. Here is the handle, here is the spout.
Ready, set, go! We got a tie here between Argentina and Brazil. 1-1 after 2 Erangel maps, which means finally, we had somewhere else. And we're heading to Sanok.
So no more potential military base circles. For now.
That is for sure, yes.
They're military camp circles?
Yeah, so basically needing all the circles on Sanok are
all the
kind of
circles
military.
are military circles. Huh.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair then, right?
So you think like after what happened on Cessna
One
Pilot,
thing-
let's go full.
One thing I think is
One thing you
that
think.
I don't think a lot. Every now and again I think one thing, and right now the one thing that I'm thinking
Yeah.
is that Brazil, one team, one unit, one heart, one spirit, all that stuff, that could work on Sanok.
I was wondering how that will look like. A
Yeah.
team that moves around like the Brazilian team on such a small map like Sanok, if they hit the right
It could work on
angle on
Sanok.
the enemy team, depending on how they spread, if they spread,
Yeah.
then they could take out the entire team in just one wipe.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it could work.
Interesting.
We don't know if it will work, of
I can
course,
tell
but it
you,
could work.
Chet is all about this matchups. Like Chet is like supporting Argentina, supporting Brazil, Argentina, Brazil,
Of course
Argentina,
they are.
Brazil, Argentina.
Are they not supporting us?
I guess this is not very likely.
Who are these stupid
Hashtag
nuns?
support casters.
We're the third team in here.
Hashtag team Toby. Hashtag team Renee.
Oh yeah.
No, we shouldn't.
Oh
separate.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm losing,
Yeah.
Toby. I'm losing.
You say that now until it's like lul Toby noob.
I think I have been too mean today, so people probably not supporting me. You got a chance, man.
We'll try.
You're in this.
I am wearing the very nice shirt that looks really good on camera.
I can see it.
That it's more like the whole.
Depends on how
if
you.
if I move like
can
this,
you do this? And it's the.
it's like already now. It's yeah.
Is that all the shake you can do?
Worst thing is I got this shirt today. So,
I know.
Yeah, you were there with me, and it's clearly not that optimal for camera. So if any of you guys have like epileptic diseases looking at me today, I'm super sorry because that's. Oh, this is why can't we just have this camera? Why can't we? It's not bad here. Why
So
can't
wait,
we just
how-
have this
how do we-
camera all the
I
time?
was wondering, so how do we get into that to cast?
Hello.
It's not. By the way, if you're wondering, it's like, why was Renee with him to buy that shirt? It's not like I told him to buy the shirt, but as a
Oh,
caster
you set
duo.
me up.
No. Oh, that's not true. I didn't have anything. You bought that already, and then you changed it. To
No,
different
nobody
styles.
knows about
Nothing
that.
to do about
You're
that.
just making that up.
But as a caster duo, especially since it's our first event together, since it's the first week in Nations Royale here, so you do things together to bond and get that
yeah.
chemistry done, and then become the greatest duo of all time. Exactly what happens, isn't it? It's
Yes.
not. It's not. So if you could choose one caster, who would you replace me with?
And I can't say myself.
I will bring a Toby mask next time. It's like, hi, I'm Toby.
I'm
You
just
cut
kidding,
out
of
his
course.
face and put it in
Actually,
front of my face.
actually, I must say, I mean, there's always that thing when you work with new casters. And this, of course, isn't really relevant to this match right here. But there's always this thing when you work with new casters. Sometimes synergy is really, really good right off the bat, and sometimes it takes a little getting together. And I think we pretty much hit the nail right on.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I know, I'm
Good times.
totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely okay. So...
The people you can BM the most are normally the ones you work the best with. It's kind of ironic.
I mean, let's be honest. Sitting on a castle that basically means bounce off each other and kind of roast each other, we're still being a team in the right moments. Because let's be honest, if we wouldn't talk each other on camera, then some of the parts were kind of lame. But I can tell you, in case you were ever wondering is how all of this works, all of it is actually really just whatever we come up with. So sometimes it's not as funny as it might sound in our head.
So
Like
my
this-
16 pages of notes here, they... What about the
wrote
script
a
that we've
script?
written on all night?
Wow. Sorry. No, it's like,
I've been
Really?
practicing this for 2 weeks, and you're just coming in here
Yeah,
telling me
I'm
that
sorry.
my notes aren't good enough for you?
as a host, I don't know if I have the chance to actually talk to chat. And it's like, really, I totally understand that sometimes chat thinks like, oh, that's so boring. Why you said that? But think about how it would be on the other side.
Yeah, think about
It's
it.
like,
I'm backing you up, bro. Keep
Yeah.
going at them.
bro.
Keep going, man.
All right. Since it's actually not that easy, right? So you need to come up with something. You need to constantly talk. You need to cover up whatever happens in the background. And there are people talking in your ear as well, besides the guy next to you. So...
I'm just waiting for you to make a point of what you're trying to say here.
That basically, we're trying our best. We just try to have fun with the community. We love the game. We love the competition because Nations Royale is actually pretty
It's
sick.
hilarious.
I like it.
Now the game started.
Because it's completely different and we get a game
So you don't need to talk anymore about whatever you
Yeah,
were trying
but
to say.
I want to say that I really try to have fun with the PUBG community and with you, and I would appreciate any support. There we go. All right. Point made.
Hashtag pray for Renee.
Brave birthday, thank you.
Because he's clearly in an emotional state
Yeah,
right now.
I am.
Where
I
he's
mean,
not
I mean,
really,
it's midnight. I
he's
get
not
into that
feeling the support,
emotional-
guys. Can we get some less than threes in the chat for Renee, because he's clearly in need for some
Moral.
for some Twitch chat love
moral
right now.
support.
Yeah.
Moral support. All right, let's see. So this is a
Wait,
split.
what?
Interesting.
Brazil
So,
is splitting?
Yeah, East-South. We got an Brazilian task force, a slightly bigger one. And then,
Then we have-
they completely
Yeah,
split now.
Painan. That's where all the action will be going down now, it seems like. Because there are multiple teams going down there. Multiple teams. 2. And we have technical difficulties again.
I just love that. It's so good that there is this place.
It's kind of
on the map.
memey as well at this point.
Yeah, this is, by the way, this is really on the map. In case you don't know, it's the Observer PC.
Yeah.
You know Amiga PCs?
I know
mean,
Amigas,
that's
but I didn't know they
Amigas.
were called Amiga PCs.
Oh yeah, obviously not. But you know Amigas, right?
Yeah.
There's still a train station in Germany where all of the screens that show people like the trains, the times, delays, is still running with an Amiga. There's only one support IT guy that they can still hire, and he makes a lot of money on this.
And it's probably running better than the entire Danish train infrastructure anyway.
It's probably
so
running
it's-
better than any other of our high modern systems.
Other than the Japanese train system. I
it good?
heard that they wrote a news article with an official apology because for the first time in 6 years they had a train that was more than 3 seconds delayed.
And they apologize for
Yeah,
that?
publicly in the newspaper.
Just saying, last time I wanted to go back by train from the airport, trains got cancelled, like 6 trains got cancelled, and the train I got was 70 minutes delayed.
I think in Denmark, if you were doing an apology, you were like, we're sorry to leave on time because nobody was expecting that and thus no one was actually there on time. So
I like that. We're in for a great surprise. We're actually ready.
speaking of trains, Rusty is now trying to take down Davin, which would be the first engagement of the match, but it's
How
also
did you come from talking about trains to that?
because he was steamrolling him.
Oh, there we go.
See
All right,
what I
that was
did there?
actually a very quick fight, 250. We had it earlier today. I think the first kill we had today was 215.
But it
or
wasn't
even-
really. I mean, he didn't die, so.
Yeah, but no, like a real kill.
Oh,
we
and
had
actually the
super
first
early.
kill of the game. Yeah, true.
We had it around 2 minutes today.
Yeah,
So it can
sounds
happen.
about right. Sounds about right.
Yep,
Yeah.
it can definitely happen.
And for those of you guys who've been tuning in late, we have just finished the first 2 games. Both were played on Erangel, and now of course we're on Miramar. Oh, wow, no wait, not we're on Sanok, and next game will be played on Vikendi. But Argentina clearly having found 2 opponents, and they are outnumbering them by quite a margin.
GoPro looking in the the wrong direction here. Rusty Zero picks it up and then gets the kill in. Oh, that was unlikely. Like,
Yeah.
they wanted
Timing.
to go for to finish up, but predicted the movement wrong there. Ah, that can happen.
Always about that split-second timing, where you're looking in the right direction, especially on Sanok, that map that's so condensed with so many trees everywhere. There's always going to be that one guy hiding, but I checked 19 trees, and he was behind the 20th. I mean, it's always like that on Sanok, especially when you have that many people on it.
It's an interesting map just because all of these smaller hills, right?
Yeah.
On Erangel, we got those bigger ones where you can basically set up a whole nation in this nation.
And pancakes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
here it's like, oh, up, down, left, right, basically like a roller coaster.
It also prevents you from really being able to scout, probably. I mean, you have to just kind of go with your feeling, because as you can see here, you can see the compound, but you can't see any of the windows before you're pretty much in the compound, right? So the only way you'll be able to see people is by, well, going there. And that's why I'm saying that if China, where the hell did that come from?
China.
What?
Yeah,
If Brazil were to, I mean, there's a I and a.
I mean,
so-
I had Southeast Asia.
Yep,
and it's,
yep,
and it's,
yep.
the
We're
Americas
yep,
region.
yep,
So.
yep. No, but if
Fucking you
Brazil were to move as a unit, when you do that whole let's push up and check this, if you push with 20 people instead of 2, then and if you do that every single time, then well, I guess odds are in your favor.
Unless you actually do it over a hill that's right in the center between 2 task forces.
True, you could get yourself pinned. That is
Yep.
that is correct.
I mean, let's be honest. There's no 100% strategy. All of them are
Win?
their ups and downs.
That's a pretty
Winning
good
is not a
strategy.
strategy. And it's definitely not a 100% strategy because it's a tie 1-1, so no.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just everything has its upsides and downsides. The same with the movement. It's just the first time that the Brazilian team tonight decides to split rather than working as a unit.
Yeah. Do you know what else has an upside and a downside?
What?
A hill
And a cookie.
and a lot of other things.
And bread.
Yeah.
Something like that. Oh, thanks. Oh no. A phone.
I think everything has. Now the question: can you come up with something that doesn't
Yeah,
have an
Chet,
upside and a downside?
Chet, can you come up with something that does not have an upside and a downside?
Water.
That's an element. Does that really count?
What? Well, I mean, it's a thing. In any case, shots are being fired once more, and let's cast this to its fully extent because Pippa is clearly trying to do some damage, but it's actually going to be Slizzle.
Sizzling.
Who is who's getting the majority of the damage done? And it's I mean, Nathalia, she's clearly by herself over there, and she is well, she's kind of pinned, but now she's actually making the push on forward without any of her teammates doing it with her. I'm just saying her because I assume it's a girl, but she's doing some damage now too.
If I remember Demon correctly, no. But I might be wrong because I
Yeah,
so
I
many
mean,
player names.
I'm just gonna say the person without any genders in it,
Yeah,
and then
we
we'll
don't want to assume anything.
Oh nope. Not
So
in this day and age.
28-30 so far. Obviously, it's a tie overall. Pippa now with a grenade onto Natalia. Oh, Natalia shows a... I want to assume a gender here. Shows the face of the 3D model of that character around the corner. But that was great from Pippa. Like, looking up, getting pimped, and that was actually a kill.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah,
a knock.
yeah. Finish off's coming in here. The push is coming in as well. So the initial push from Nathalia kind of allowed for the rest of the team to say, oh, you know what, maybe we can actually do this. And now look at the commitment all by itself pushing into the compound. That's multiple kills coming in. Third one, and that's been obtained. What? It's a nade right there. Watch out. Okay, somehow not knocked. Impressive. But obtained all by Lonesome. Impressive.
Yeah, down to 24 already, like on Argentina. But beautiful circle. Like, basically
Very
everyone
pretty.
is in.
Very round. Beautiful circle.
Beautiful.
Very round.
There's, anti-aliasing on this is on point. Also
Yeah,
on point
Danny.
was the shot on Denny, THC. Falls to Kabalita. That's
if-
it.
The funny thing
Immense.
about the north here is probably it's the most open terrain. Like it has, I don't know why, but it has the lowest sort of density of trees. You can see it right here. There's so many open areas. You have the hills up there, and you have everything north and around there too. There are trees, sure, but it's all those really sort of thin palm trees that you can't really hide behind very well. And well, it seems like the Brazilians are kind of outnumbered, alone in the fact that they have a solid. Let's pull that to a 5 players.
I'm not
down
sure
in
what
the south.
Loriath is doing up north there. Walking in the wrong direction.
Scouting.
Yeah, scouting what? Water?
Yes.
How deep it is?
I mean,
How
it's
warm it
impor-
is? If
an
it's okay
important-
to chill out there and have a
It is an
barbecue?
important resource, and they have aerial on their team. Might want to get back to the water at some point. So
All right. If you say so. But now, Brazil is back to basically one big, strong unit besides Rednecks and Shakpira and Ziflux. They're still down south. We see Circle closed in.
Paradise
Oh,
has been
what
committed
a
to.
shift!
Paradise was committed to by Argentina because they like the Paradise, and Circle said, "Nope, you got military last game. This time around, we'll give it to Brazil."
Yeah, that Circle was definitely a hard shift on onto the Brazilian team against Argentina, because they now need to move in the circle. But we also learned from all the previous matches, it's not really bad to be the moving team.
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, Brazil made it work in game number 1 of today already, and they tried to make it work in game 2, but that bridge became a little much for them to handle. And well, I mean, this time around they have the benefit of being able to stay put at least for a while, and if they decide to, while the Argentinians, they're the ones that will somehow have to find that entry point to the circle. They are in, or at least on the edge of it, but of course you can't just hang around here hoping circles will come towards you, because well, these guys will be shooting at you.
Yeah, obviously they've got the high ground as well. They're shooting down at this construction site. Is it the construct? No, they're not really constructing anything. They harvesting trees. What's the right? Lumberyard. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, harvesting wood.
That is also something. they do.
Harvesting trees. That's totally fine.
And all of a sudden, Loretha's exploration is not really the worst idea, because look at the flank. She's doing it.
no,
it
you really
is
go
doing-
hard on all of that, right?
Loretha.
Oh, I think you got lost in
Loreth,
this.
Okay, so look at the flank. Gubin up against Loreth. That could be whoever gets to go around could potentially be the upset. Oh, did he spot Gubin? Did you see someone jumping around over there?
Oh, Capitan Bublu, he got a beautiful shot onto Massa. Seems to be a shot. Yep. And Gubin is just searching for the
He
remainder
has the team
of
running
the
with him.
Argentinian army.
Clearly the front runner here. He has the squad of 4 behind him. Look at that, checking, making sure everyone's with him. Arthur right behind. Oh, but look at the foliage. That's a spotted player. Nice reaction as well. Immediately starts shooting. No shots connected, but great reaction speed.
Yeah, Loriev also there. So let's see, Gubin versus Loriev. If that works out for the Argentinian team and they can catch up a bit on the kills, or if Brazil is able to build up on that gap here, create a bigger gap. But seems like Gubin is actually going into reverse.
I mean, that's the thing, right? That's the issue with this. Normally, if you see one guy, when you're playing PUBG, there's, well, 1, 2, or 3 more for the most part. But here, you could be running into the full team. You don't really know what's coming around the corner. So smart to disengage, to go back. They take the advantage of having the a bit of distance in between where they can take some shots, because they still have the circle to work with. The other guys have to push in. So smart to disengage a bit. But right now, actually, they're the ones getting people lost.
Yeah, it seems like they're really hitting shots on the Argentinian side, knocking down several Brazilians. But as long as there's no killing it, it doesn't really help on the scoreboard. Loria finds a full aces. Still not a kill though, just a drop.
Yeah,
Next drop. Yeah, they're really doing good right now on this range, shooting up that hill. I'm surprised.
And once they get into nading range, because now they're getting redstone too, so they have to move forward. But once they get into nade range, it can become really dangerous, because you see a lot of them are still sitting around up there healing. And at this point, actually, I believe there's only one remaining doing so. But had they gone up into nade range earlier, it could have been extremely dangerous for the Brazilian team.
That's true. Maybe a bit more like hardcore going into this.
Yeah. We'll see.
But it's interesting how the teams that provided so much action on a big battlefield, now on the smaller one, start to actually second thought everything and start to move slower.
They could
different
have something to do with the new
strategies.
circle popping and it going even further south. The one split that has worked is the southern split from the team, because clearly Argentina not as fully one-side committed as the Brazilians are. They have split up into two, and it seems like their team down south has indeed managed to take themselves a compound.
Yeah, I think that was a smart move.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
to split up there, get another compound, create another angle, maybe take some shots here.
You cannot always
Lautaz.
just fight on one front.
He found one already. He's like, that's one kill. Hunting for the next one. It's beautiful crossfire now. Look at that.
Trying to set it up, and Brazil has to figure how do we hold them all off, because they're starting to lose players, and these knocks are coming in. But as we can see, they are very committed to get those rests back on up. They know the importance of keeping as many alive as possible once we get into those super hectic moments later on in the game.
Yeah, Gubin got killed though on the Brazilian side. That's the men we saw before that were scouting.
The brave
Loriev.
one.
Yeah, Loriev. Capitan
Ooh,
Bublu.
ooh, surprise angle maybe?
Oh, is he? Oh, but he has a full squad in front
He's
of
joining the enemy team.
him.
Hey guys, can I peek
Yep.
with you? Yes,
Oh,
I can. And he will
smoke gone.
start shooting. Real and take it down immediately. One more player to go, but not going to happen. Natalia once again. So much activity from this player.
See what you did there. Tuta falls. The Tano gets another one. Chuck Para also dies. 20 to 26. Still close enough. There's a big fight now onto that Mount Pommer falls. Got the tap
Wow, the
as
amount
well.
of
Seems
knocks.
like the Brazilians had the quicker trigger finger there.
There was so many people getting knocked on top of each other. And look at the position from Ariel now. That's a headshot straight on towards it. Nathaniel taken down immediately. Ariel, though, going down in return. And, well, I mean, this is far, far, far from over. But seems like the Argentinian push up over the hilltop was indeed prevented in the end, because Ernster is the last living soul up in this area.
It will be interesting. This is a small map. If they would do the same on the Candy, which we will play next, though. So it could be a decider map already. Obviously, since we know the first team that gets 3. Just saying.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how this ends, because there will be one team
There
that
will
sits on
be
2
one.
points.
Yeah.
But it's just a completely different playstyle from both sides now here on Sanhok.
I think this game is really trying to make up for not giving Brazil a chance in the previous game. And now, I mean, again, it's like we saw in the other Sanhok game, where one team really did everything they could to push as smart as they could around the circle. I think it was the Hungarian team that just every time they got inside the circle and actually got some footing, the circle just went, nope, ain't gonna happen, and went further away, and it has happened again. They got the south controlled, and thus the circle shall shift north.
Yeah, sometimes this circle seems to be afraid of your team and just moving as far away as possible each time you're getting closer.
Making it a bit of a challenge. I like it. Ooh, the timing there. Belita had the angle, but unscoped right as the peak came in.
Back hit them all the way up the mountain. I mean, beautiful view there, but not a chance yet to connect a shot. Technosh also waiting for his first kill. 3 among his squad of 8 already.
Yeah.
So that's a start.
Golden AWM and an AUG. That is a guy that has gotten himself some crates. Maybe there's some fans out there willing to donate him their weapons, saying, take my weapon, and I promise you, you shall hit shots.
Take my energy as well.
Take my energy, yeah.
Yep.
If you're a Technosh fan, spam that chat. We like him as much as you do.
Do you? That
Burn,
fight. Oh,
burn, burn, baby, burn.
Snan has to move.
Don't
all
run
the
into
way.
your own Molotov.
Oh, Ragnarok gets shots get shot on him immediately because he was just peeking in there. Was too afraid of his own fire, basically, or his team's fire.
Well, it makes sense you don't want to run into your Molotov, but he actually almost did it
Even
anyway.
Kit got annihilated. Chikitin also killed, flashed off the map. Gone. 17-22.
I mean,
Both
this guy
teams
is
still getting
clearly
kills.
aware that his compound has been compromised, but he's trying to sneak around and find anywhere to lay low. There just ain't a whole lot of those spots available. Ariel trying to do as much damage as possible, but down, down, down is the only way for that play right there. Ernst trying to come up and do the hero play and getting the rest in, but not going to happen either.
Yeah, but it's still interesting how it's a pretty even split. Even with 16-22 now, it seems like both teams kind of trade left and right. John Quick
yeah,
now
yeah.
knocked that grenade, did not finish him off. Seemed like it was enough to hide behind that tree, obviously. Reeboks jumping and firing at the same time. Not finding any target. Oh, that grenade did a lot of damage. And also finished off.
Gonna do the rest because that's your teammates, Nate, so that's amazing.
Was it?
32.
Oh, yeah.
Feels bad, man.
Oh.
Teknosh did give himself 2 kills off of that push right there. And seems to me like Brazil has found themselves the upper hand in all of this. Argentina trying to do everything they can to stay put. But as you can see, Brazil have the high ground, they have the compound, and they have everything working their way.
Yeah, and Argentina is down to 9. The last remaining soldiers for the brave country. And that grenade goes a long, long way to Pandy. And even hits. Not enough though, 16, so he could still heal up in case he does that before the next grenade pops down.
Just got that first aid off.
Yep.
You can see H11 is very much aware of the positioning. Oh, was that a knee? Was that a leg? I don't know.
think
I
so.
didn't shoot. Holds the angle though. Pandy for as long as he possibly can. 4x on the weapon. Got himself 1 knock, trying to tap away at some more targets. Spots a lot of them too. Gets himself 1 more, but in the end, Teknosh's Nate right on the money.
Yeah, those grenades are just hitting marks left and right. Argentina down to 6 now. Brazil still on 20. So there seems to be a written story that will tell people about the win on Senok for Brazil. Teknosh just cleaning up on 3 kills already. Fleeks looking down a beautiful
That's your teammates.
roof here. Can he get some kills? But there are a lot of Brazilian targets.
He needs to land a whole lot of shots off of a very, very small angle. Because again, he has a surprising angle. Didn't get the knock right off the bat, and now they all know where he is.
Yeah, but at least he was hitting shots. But right now, that wasn't enough to really finish anyone off. And it's only 5 people. That's his compound there. That is still alive. And he gets another one. Balita falls, though, on the Brazilian side. Kovac gets knocked down. Seems like Argentina is not willing to give up at all. Kill demo falls. Fleeks now finally goes down on that roof. The last remaining 2 players on the side of Argentina. Groove, that's it. 0 against 18. Brazil takes map 3.
Well played. They, despite them spreading out, not playing as the one unit we've seen before, they made it work, and it worked out really well, actually.
They split up in the beginning, then went into back to 1 unit, then split again.
Yeah.
But I really like the Argentinian split with the compounds. When they went south, tried to create a different angle. Didn't work for them in the end, but hey, there's so many factors that define the outcome here.
Circles being a big one of them. Yeah, and it was interesting to see how so much of this became compound fights, right? Because normally on Weekend, on Sanok at least, you see a lot of these fights occurring in the open. And sure, you had the whole northern push that was completely stopped by the Brazilians. Well played there as well. But overall, I mean, a player in Natalia pushing that compound alone and getting so many kills, surprising and impressive. Nothing short of that. But this one right here, the fact that they completely stopped that northern push from Argentina meant that, well, they knew exactly where to look following.
And it was an interesting expedition there up north to the ocean. Ended in death for a lot of people. And then it was this compound that marked himself as a death ground to so many Argentinian PUBG players here. And then marked the victory for Brazil. That means they actually got match ball on the next one. Yeah,
and they have to win because we might not be able to bring the last one.
So we hurry up. The Kenny's up next. 2-1 for Brazil. Back after the break with more action.
I'll beg for mercy. Fall to my knees to be your girl. Are you really that deluded? I wouldn't touch you for the world. 'Cause I know, I wake up in the morning thinking this is my new love. And I know, we break up in a week because of your snowman syndrome. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Don't need your conversation, babe, I'm afraid you're out of luck. That's too much information. Don't care about models, that's yeah. Whatever. I know, you wake up in the morning thinking this feels dumb as hell. I know, no one could ever love you like the way you love yourself. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it, baby. I don't give a. Do I look like I'm in love? You want it, nah, you can't get it. Oh, I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. I wish you were as big as, I wish you were as big as, yeah, I wish you were as big as your ego. Ain't no way I give it up, move to you like I'm in love. You want it, but can't get it, baby. I don't give a. Do I look like I'm in love? You want it, nah, you can't get it. He's the world that's against you. He's the fear that's pulled you down. You're scared to move a muscle. I'm paralyzed, you're making no sound. He makes you feel like a child is scared of the night. Turning your light on. He waves fear in your face and brings it to life. Turning your light on. Turning your light on. Turning.
Time for winter clothes. Get your jackets out, your warm and long underwear. We're heading over to Vikendi for map number 4 in this best of 5 between Brazil and Argentina. And Brazil just took a map, which means it's 2-1 for Brazil.
And now we're going into unknown territory yet again. Sanok showed us something we didn't really see on Vikendi, because we haven't been here yet. And we didn't really see it on Wrangle either, because we have been there, but we didn't see it. So
that was the great way of saving
easy
that.
save. Easy
Do that.
save. 10 out of 10. But
Nice.
but yeah, it's gonna be fun because it's a different map. Now we are back to having these open plains. Sure, there are many more compounds on those open plains, but we have much more of a sit at a distance, tap, tap, tap away. And I think that's where you'll see the Brazilian team go back to the whole one unit thing.
Yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, how does it look like when they move as a unit among Sanhok and just maybe just, you know, like a virus going through?
They
like,
didn't really. Also because they got to defend, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having to charge.
So it was slightly different. So the question is, can they go there back to what they did on Erangel? Do they think like, oh, Sanhok actually worked for us, maybe we should stay with it? We'll find out.
We'll see.
We'll find out in Vikendi actually.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
No.
Potentially, the last game should the team from Brazil take home the victory. They would be crowned as the semi-finale winners and get themselves a spot to their respective final. But should Argentina win, then we are
Yeah.
in a race against time because by 1:30, which right now is a solid 30 minutes from now, if we do not get the final game started in a half hour, should Argentina win, then it's going to be interesting.
Vikendi is a small map. If we start right now, if everyone would be ready in the lobby, we might make it. But we would never get them into a new lobby.
We will
and start
see.
it.
We will see. Things have been done before. And yes, that
Humanity.
is.
Things have been done
Things
before.
have been done
Definitely.
before. And maybe things
Thanks.
will be done again. So we will have to wait and see, of course. That's going to be a talk for approximately a half hour from now. But at first, let's see exactly how things do pan out on Vikendi. And for those of you guys who are watching this for the first time thinking, what is this? How does this work? What are we watching? This is not PUBG. It is.
Definitely is. It is
Yeah.
32 versus 32. And the players got picked for the nation, and they all have one general, which is like an influencer, YouTuber, you know, like a
The best PUBG player from that
visible person. That's definitely not the case. I'm pretty sure about it.
Oh, because
And they
you're not on
also
the
sometimes stream the point of view.
Yeah, I think they
That's
actually
interesting.
always do.
They really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the captains always do.
All right, let's assume that's the case. And yeah, they're here to represent their nation. And the nations are all this actually, if you watch like yesterday, the previous weeks, or even earlier today, this is the bracket of the Americas region.
Yeah.
Which is why we have in Brazil and Argentina. Obviously, in the European Nations Royale bracket, we're heading into the round of 8, not yet into the round into the semifinals, because this is a semifinal.
Yeah.
But we finished round of 16 today in Europe, which means tomorrow we will define which of those teams get in the top 4. And top 4 means, from the European regions, that these generals will be here next week on 30th and 31st and actually play live from the studio here.
From the war
for the final.
room.
Yep.
Yep. Quick info as well. Whoever wins this match between Argentina and Brazil get to go up against the winner of the powerhouses in Canada and US of A. And that's gonna be an interesting one too, because I know
I'm
there
pretty
are
sure
there are
that's
some
a
pretty
heated up matchup.
pretty talented players in that mix there as well. But then again, I mean, we've seen teams both in this and also before where it's not necessarily just because you put all the star players in one team that they win, because there's synergy. There's so many things coming into. So sure, you might have some guys that on paper are light years above anyone else, but then you see the team that just comes in with synergy, communication, boom, 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 and they completely wipe them.
It's basically like tabletop games. Do you go for an army that has like nonsense but 3 super strong ones? Or you go for an army that is more evened out, but communication and strategy works for you? You know, it's like, you know, like Warhammer, all that stuff. So that's what we see in Nations Royale, like how important it is to have communication on point, to get rotation done. And once again, I have to highlight the Turkish team, super quick on rotations.
Yeah, they were good at that. They were good at that.
Reacting to the circle. So even if it might look, for people that join us for the first time, more chaotic, it kind of is at some point. We had to bring this picture. We always see it. And
with the little Argentinian logo in the background, like whee.
it's not chaotic. It's just a completely different style, since you're not moving as an individual squad. You're moving as a big unit. Not necessarily as one unit for everyone, but in bigger groups, and they have way bigger impact.
And you also take up some more space, so the whole scouting and sneaky peeking around can be extremely difficult when you are such a bunch trying to maneuver around the vast terrains of these different maps in the game. Now Circle's gonna pop, and it seems like it has gone at least south of where Da Vinci and Lookix is.
They're heading to the cave.
They're going cave. Okay, so we didn't see that actually on the Vikendi game we had between Denmark and Sweden. None of them went cave, but here, bada bing! Crazy animation, shuns. We get that.
Multi-kill.
Oh,
no one got
And
killed.
seems like that'll be easy peasy. Lemon level 3 helmet squeezies. Pickups for the guys right here. Da Vinci, Liquix, they have... we were trying to figure why other teams didn't, whether it wasn't a like gentleman's agreement that nobody can go there because it's unfair to get such good gear this early. But then again, I mean, at this point, you see where they are on the northeast side. They're not really near any opponents, and by the time that they really start engaging, plenty of crates has been dropped, flare guns has been shot into the sky. So I mean, it's not like nobody other than those two players have level 3 gear at that point.
There's definitely a chance for you to pick up that in case you got some. First of all, you need to spot those drops, and then hopefully they're on your side.
Yeah.
But we got a slightly south shifted circle.
Benefiting Argentina this time. So we're kind of going back and forth between who we give the upper hand, at least as far as circles go. But then, oh, sorry, continue.
I'm not sure. Brazil, if they move down from Cosmodrome down to the main forces, like close to Mount Kresnik, and then go to Dino Park and push in from there as one, as they did like in the first map on an angle, I see them having the upper hand that moment, and they could create a great advantage because the guys over like Pom and everyone else on the east side of the river, they will take a while until they're on the other side.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because you got to figure, do you want to go over or do you want to try and swoop around the eastern side? Maybe see if we can clear them off. But, I mean, Brazil being Brazil, would assume to see them gathering up somewhere whenever they're all set and ready to go and then make their move on out. And
I really want to go to Vikendi.
In
when
real
this,
life?
when this park is done.
It
looks
is done.
great.
And it has been done for a long time and now it's been abandoned.
Yeah, that's the problem. Can we not go there and build it up again?
I think that's a different game where you build things.
Theme parks.
Yeah. Roller coaster tycoon.
Yeah, all right.
Good old times. Good old times.
Oh yeah, the 2D isometric view.
Yeah.
Basically what we have now, just not isometric.
Just not at all.
Basically the same.
Basically the
just
same,
not
just
isometric.
not the same.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, we talked about how these southern guys have the advantage. But then again, I mean, game number 1, we had far eastern teams, far western teams. Circle, far east, and still Brazil actually won, despite them all being crammed into Georgia Bowl. So it's not like this is a death sentence for them, but we can see the Argentinian team kind of starting to spread out and maybe trying to see if they can pin them inside that northwest side of the very popped circle there.
Yeah, it depends a bit on if Brazil reacts to this quickly now, or Argentina really being that brave and spread out that thin. Because obviously, you put yourself on a high risk if you now want to create half a circle basically around them, as if they really go in with a big like number of units, they might break through easily.
Also, if you know for a fact that they like to go as a full team, I mean, going a lot together, then sitting in like a 2-man split, this is our patrol spot. And you have like 40 people coming up towards you, which is not going to happen because there's only 31 alive. But you have 15 people driving up towards you.
May I see your license, please?
Might not be the kind of situation you want to be in.
The problem is we say that. It's like when you know a team that works as a unit. First of all, they never saw that on the map as we did. And second, Sanhok was a completely different story. So I wonder if they even have that image about the Brazilian spot here, about the Brazilian team.
We'll have to
I don't think so.
No, maybe not.
Is that a message to us?
I just saw something with Stacy.
It just said, shut up on that wall.
Oh, I just saw Stacy.
Thank you, Observer. We appreciate the support here. All right, just don't say anything.
I like a little static shot in the background there.
Is that better? Huh? Come on.
So in any case, for Brazil right now, they have a chance to make that push on down. I mean, they have a chance to go down west. And sure, I haven't seen if any shots have been fired just yet. And Rasper clearly stopping to scout, it would seem like. So looking down towards Sortido Backley and his teammates down there. And I mean, Rusty with a vehicle could potentially go around the western side, but as you said before, they still have a lot of players that has yet to make it in, and it's going to be dangerous for them to rotate too early should they not be able to sort of get over to their teammates, right? Because they can always rotate early on. We are watching it. We are watching it. It is very nice. He looks sad too.
He looks sad too, all right. All good. But we see that Argentina already reacted to this because they knew that Brazil was probably just far up north, and they managed to get everyone across the river, which is the first thing that was said, like, oh, if Brazil would be quicker, they might have a chance to interfere.
Them, like keep them back
but there's
safe,
no
yeah.
chance anymore because
Oh, no.
Argentina is back to full force.
Yeah, they're very much all across. They have FLKS and Groove on the castle, just holding the fort down, making sure nobody's able to make their way on in. But other than that, yeah, they're very much all have made it over. And well, so has Brazil at this point. So pretty much they're just setting up for that potential final fight of today, and hoping for a quick whoever wins match so that we can get into the final game. Should it be the case?
Yeah, if we need one, there's a drop that fell right in the hands of Argentina, and they also got the cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got a drop, they got a cave. That's a pretty good start.
And they're all sitting in a pretty condensed area, so they're close to each other, and it's hard for other teams to really push without their teammates being able to shoot. That's the thing, because you can spread out in positions where technically this is a good spot, this is a good spot, but there's nothing you can do to help the other one should they be attacked. Here, they can pretty much, when you can shoot from Tova over to the direction of Villa, where you have the teams up north, so they'll have some sort of a suppressive fire opportunity should that be the be a need.
Seems like Gubin 1-1 is actually leading that exhibition force there.
Yeah, they have been spotted out as well. I think saw some shots fired up in their direction, so we'll have to assume that at least some sort of information has come across that teams are rotating in.
Yeah, oh, they clearly spot it now, and it seems like most of Brazil is now on the way pretty quickly, though, to
Yeah.
move into the circle. Obviously, it's 22 seconds until first blue closes.
The thing is, these guys in the villa that we see right now, they are spotting the Brazilian team move south of them, and there's a chance, a small one, but a chance that they could try and pin them up here. And then it would be, I mean, even though the other guys can shoot up in that direction, it would be hard for them to really assist. I mean, we did see game 1 where they just full-on sent it when their team got attacked, and we all saw how that worked for them. But that's not going to matter, because everyone has to move.
Yeah, that's another circle that's kind of moving away from the
Wow.
Brazilian team. That
is south.
That's hurting them a lot once again.
Yeah.
But at least now, they are on the back of an Argentinian force moving. Look at this now.
Yeah.
They're all moving into the circle. If the Brazilian team would just go straight into the circle now, if they would do so, they would probably see a lot of backs turned to them.
Question here is also going to be, can the Brazilians not only get, or can the Argentinians not only get into the circle, but also kind of set up shop before the Brazilians could potentially attack them? Seems like the Brazilians have stuck to the whole foot soldier kind of idea, whereas to the light vehicle movements from Argentina kind of allows them to rotate a little faster. We do see Lula, nice snow bike there, making that move on forward. But other than that, I mean, pretty much everyone's on foot, right?
Yeah, it seems like that. Obviously, there are not as many vehicles as there are on our angle.
But still enough that they
and
should have some.
all of them died today on the bridge. So
Yeah, they were all exploded.
That's another
Yeah.
thing. So
There you go.
it's
One vehicle.
slightly different how you move an entire army around here.
4 guys already in that one. We got 1 guy on a scooter. Don't say, I ain't picking up no one. Making his run on forward.
I'm just waiting to really see the bigger plan. I mean, they definitely moving down. Oh my God! So
Abby
Brazil
again.
Brazil is moving to Dino Park, and Argentina probably didn't watch the previous matches
Yeah, don't
and
go
settled
Abby.
for Abby. And we saw a team that looked super strong on Abby and then realized that's basically a graveyard.
The thing is, they might have gone Abby, but realized what the Swedish team did wrong. Because they not only have Abby, but they have that hill up north as well. And that was where the Danish players could just set up shop and start shooting them down and contain them inside.
Yeah, that's
Here, their Achilles heel being the hill. They've said, you know, we'll take that as well. They'll give us the full body kind of control if you have to go full mythical on the whole Achilles heel thing.
Gubin still leading his exhibition group, dropping people to pick up cars. Is he moving around completely? Could he create a different angle onto Abbey? I don't think so, because he's moving too much into the circle now, like back to the middle of it.
They're going. They're going in from this like direct west, trying to see if they can make some sort of a place to call home, which they probably should be able to, because the Argentinian team is very much sitting in the north side right now.
It depends a bit on where the first guy picks up some intel and starts the shooting, because obviously everyone will move in. So the earlier that happens, the less spread the Brazilian army will be, the less there is like this half circle around Abbey, what they're currently creating. So it will be interesting if they split, or if they really all want to go down south now.
Brazil is still kind of split, right? I mean, pretty widely as well. Mainly for the reason that half of them are rotating on foot, so it's kind of limited how quickly you can get from A to B. But as we see up here, the Argentina team has decided to go a little further east, take some sort of control of Volnova, it's called. But once again, they have been fooled by the circle, because we, of course, will not just get one southern circle. We will indeed go south twice. So the winery might just be the new Abbey for the Argentinians. They seem like they're all getting ready to rotate. And other than Christian, he's standing up like the orc in Lord of the Rings, just calling, roar, chanting to the troops on the rock and saying, get ready to attack.
I thought he's the one that's now going over to the other pass. You shall not pass.
That's also an option, but he
could be, right?
It was the orc who said that. No, that's what they did on the bridge when they made the barricade.
Yeah, that was an angle. All right,
that happened there. That happened there.
All right.
Yeah.
We got it.
Full on Lord of the Rings mode in here.
We can do all of it. We go Harry Potter next.
Yes.
Just to make sure that people don't feel like we never went to their franchise. I mean, we did Star Wars yesterday, Lord of the Rings today, so Harry Potter is probably up next.
Yeah, that's on the list for sure.
All right. Hugin, he got a good look up the hill there.
This is the skirmish we've been waiting for. Yeah. And again, it's one of those, take each your side of the road and start shooting.
But it's down, like it's uphill shooting for the Brazilians. It's downhill shooting for the Argentinians. But they are way more Brazilians, because Argentina is still rotating.
Yeah. So I think some players from Argentina tried to catch some players from Brazil off guard, but all of a sudden, all of the Brazilian players, like we've seen before, came into this one, but it seems like they're actually kind of disengaging. Unusual to the play style we've seen coming into this game number 4, but it seems like Brazil is actually furthermore committed to see if they can make their way more, like, further around. Nintendo, though, saying, you know what, buddy? I'm going to pop your head off right there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful one. A precise shot immediately. But, once again, not a kill, so...
Just a knock.
Yeah.
Haven't lost a single player yet.
Enough people to pick him up there. And it's... Now we're in the phase here where it's just so important how they set up and when they get disturbed in their setup.
And you can see that actually Argentinian players have made their way further around south as well. So they are doing everything they can to contain them in the little city they're in now. You can see at Roger Wow. Ranchi trying to see if he can make the push on south, but we have Pippa and them down there really far south. They're really doing everything they can to prevent them from crossing over. But also, in the meantime, you have Roger on them. They're trying to find some sort of a opportunity to kind of breach through that little barricade they've been setting up.
It's like all that movement. It looks kind of chaotic on the map, but I know that's not really what they wanted to create, and I think the Argentines are a bit quicker here to set up a proper, longer front line to have more control of all the objectives
Seems
here.
Like Roger already next, though. They have made their way in underneath. Could be a potential surprise. NA luck. Trying to see if he can get any luck. No.
No.
What did happen as far as opposite of luck?
I appreciate the effort.
We just shifted away from a solid 80% of the players with this circle shift. It went back up north again.
Yep, the circle is really like bouncing.
It's just trolling
left and
these
right,
players
up and
all
down.
over the place.
Yeah, Arthur fell to girl power, so that is one of the first kills we've seen here.
Yeah,
or
the first kill, the first finish of
it is Brazil down to 30. They started with 31, so Don't get confused
Once
by that.
again.
Olatangas, once again, that close to the enemy, but falls immediately. There's some kills coming in for the Argentinian team. Brazil is down to 28 already.
16 minutes in already fighting like crazy. I don't know what it is about these two teams, but they're way more daring in their confrontations. It's not like, oh, we lost a player, let's disengage. Other than what we just saw before, they have just been like, you know what? Someone started shooting, we will not stop until they're all dead.
2 kills on the Argentinian side, like they got 2 team members dead. And Brazil lost to 3 in total so far.
Yeah. Oh,
so
that's
pretty
a good
even.
shot.
Pablex might be the next one though.
Yeah, not an opportune situation
Yeah,
to be
Ariel.
in. He does get knocked.
Oh, that
long
was,
range too.
Yeah, that was some range. With a silencer here.
That's the circle, and look at this. He can just sit. That's a teammate. Realize that too. Whoops. He just heard it from far. Don't shoot at me, you moron!
I mean, it was the same hill, right? I would have shot as well.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
the thing.
he just knocked one, and then you see someone walking down that hill. It's like, yeah, what should you do?
And look at them all trying to rotate up, get some sort of a centered position. And this, of course, is just a fight waiting to happen. Slisson all by himself inside of this compound, trying to just hug in a corner and wait for cavalry to arrive. And as you can see on your minimap, they are indeed coming in as we speak.
Good setup for Argentina. I mean, they could turn this into a tie once again if they're now quick. If they stay on their feet like they're doing right now, and always be the quicker ones to rotate in, and they have good position. But right now, it is actually Brazil
They are
knocking
putting on a
people,
fight.
killing people on that compound. They're really
Holy
running hot now.
cow. A ton of shots being fired, and as we see the kill feed lighting up, going both ways, but as you said right there, Renee mainly going in the favor. At least it seems that way in the chaos of Brazil. A lot of shots fired, a lot of shots connected too, and they're starting to take a lot of casualties on the Argentinian side.
23-24, though, that is the lead now for Brazil. They turned this around, but still too early to really celebrate that, though.
Yeah,
And this compound, that will be once again seeing the Argentinian players diving into it, and Brazil just sending support after support after support, because that's the same situation we had in Erangel.
And the thing here being this time around, there's not a lot the players can do. You can see the whole kind of ridge going over on the eastern side there. That blocks the vision from the rest of the Argentinians. They cannot help them from where they are right now, and half of them are still making their way down towards their teammates. And look at this compound. It's not exactly that Argentinian anymore. Ariel, though, doing everything possible to stay put for as long as humanly possible. Nate could potentially be the help needed, but with the pan in hand, makes the runoff, saying this ain't going our way.
Yeah, had a good shot there at the one peeking out from the Brazilian side, but wasn't able to flush. It didn't finish that kill. Now everyone is coming through and trying to help out at this compound. It seems like it's mainly in Brazilian hands.
It does, but with the kill feed, you see it's pretty even. I mean,
Yeah,
when
but
it
they
comes
got
to the numbers.
Chocolito, so that's down to 22 now. But yeah, it's mainly a trade everywhere.
And Circle finally settled and said, you know what, I've had you run for so long now that you're fighting, I will jump straight down on towards what's going on. And that's exactly what's happening. Here, the Groza in hand of one of the Argentinian players could be the difference maker. Such a deadly weapon up close. Handy, though, trying to make the run around here and get some kills for himself.
And we saw 3 deaths in a row for Argentina. Oh, Hanyu was a bit too early there. Wasn't ready with his weapon. Tried to reload there. And that was just peeking around the corner. Same for Chikitin. Walking around into Relene. That's another kill. 14-19.
Argentina were up, but they're under a ton of pressure right now. And half the team is not even in a position to help still off of all that.
Yeah, it's like it took them too long to actually get involved there, which was also what happened in Erangel when they decided to fight for that compound that long. People are still in a good position, but obviously there's no way to just carry that on one single player.
Not at all. Some hero shots would be needed to be landed. It's not over yet. I mean, only 3 kills difference. We saw, I think it was the Hungarian and Turkish game where there was a 9-kill difference that went down to an 8-8 in the end of things, right? So not at all over yet. Could still go into that 5th map, but right now at least Brazilian team with the advantage here. Pump. Oh, that's a good headshot. Took his time, make sure to connect it, and he did. Couldn't get the knock though.
Yeah, now I think everyone is trying to calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Get more overview of the situation, set up new, trying to find single kills rather than just rushing in and just shooting and whatever moves, basically. Beautiful grenade. Yep, Belita.
And also now with
Was
the
eating
chaos,
it.
with the chaos having happened so much, we saw a lot of these people on their squad list. You can see just 1 or 2 players pretty up. Sure, this one has a lot of them from, has 7 of 8 alive. But if you only have 1 or 2 left, the remaining entire players on the server will look hostile to you, right? And you've just been running around in the compound with everyone shooting at each other. You don't know any longer who's on your team and who's not.
I'm pretty sure that's a super stressful situation.
It's
Those
gotta
small
be,
com-
right?
and
So
those
many
small
so many
compounds.
friendly fires coming in as well. Paplex taking down Mufasa, unfortunately. Now, once again,
14-40.
yep, they're calling back this one. They're making a comeback.
Yeah, Argentina not done here yet. They're like, nope, we're not giving up easily just because you took the lead once. This matchup is far from over.
Wow,
With
Circle
40-40.
centering up on all these players once again. Peepa gets himself a single, gets himself a double off of that one too, and they're cleaning up. It's as if Argentina has found the calm in the storm, well, I mean, it also helps that they have a 7 out of 8-man squad up and alive, working together as a unit still, while everyone is kind of split out all by themselves, trying to make something work. But Argentina up by 2 now.
I like the single task force work
Yeah.
they currently deliver on the Argentinian side. They make sure that they help each other out. They try to create new angles. You see them constantly moving around. So it's not easy for them to get... I mean, it's obviously easier to get picked while they move, but at least they're not predictable.
But also, this is exactly when you want to utilize that. While everything is a chaos and you are able to have like clear communication with your team. Oh, Paplex, I think he just got spotted there. Long range spray from Capitan. But, nope, not down there set. Not just yet. Still alive, but look at the push coming from the top. The info has been called in. There's a guy hiding down here, and he should go down real soon.
Yeah, more support is obviously needed because we see that Argentina is full force now. They created a bit of half circle with some crossfire. You can see that from Pom, Gravy, Low Quicks. They're basically shooting down, like straight across the Brazilians with a bit of support from their teammates down south. That is a good angle. Why? Well, Brazil only has this now. That's it. There's no other angle. There's no flanking team anymore.
Not at all. They don't have a whole lot to work with. All they can do at this point, honestly, is hope that this next circle goes northwest, because they are completely pinned down here in the corner. Holy headshot, Peepa. That is one hell of a connected one right there.
Yeah, eat that, basically. Not connecting any shot through the smoke, though. But it was a beautiful first shot at Ratnex. That's for sure. Kill Demo in the background. He also wanted to... Oh, you picked up some loot on his teammate. Just died. Oh, Snan goes down to Harold. The Lockix helped with a knock there. 13-7.
Yeah, but it's not over yet, but it sure is looking difficult for the Brazilian team. And impressive for Argentina to make a comeback off of that, because they were ahead. Then all of a sudden, things went very, very strongly in their favor of Brazil. But then they, well, I mean... They got the motivation. They figured out what they needed. So what a nice angle to get damage done there. Kill Demo.
Pixel shown, pixel shot, basically.
3 knocks.
But
back
you're right.
to back.
When they were down at the compound, it was Brazilian taking the upper hand. But
4.
now it's Argentina coming back. Pippa falls though for Argentina, so it's down to 12. But Brazil also down to only 7.
Yeah.
Kill Demo is probably
5
near
knocks.
to his end as well. Yeah.
5 knocks for Argentina. So it's 7v7 right now. You don't see it because the tracker only goes down when players are actually finished off. But they are sure making everything they can off of this one. They were down 13-7, and now it's 11-6.
Yeah, this will land in a close one. Circle gets closer and closer. It is on an open field, basically. Rednex has a good... Oh, when they push down the mountain, maybe push right into his crosshair, but his teammate, wow, he just got knocked out of this world, basically, with that shot. We saw that through the wall. That was a hard one.
Not through the window.
But from the window.
Through the wall.
Yeah. I like that. I like that you jump on in that, you know? Supporting each other.
Of course. That's what
Appreciate
gotta
it.
do what you gotta do.
Pimp, he wants to be picked up. It might be hard to get there, though.
5-11. Seems like even though they got a lot of knocks down, not a whole lot of finish-offs were able to be capitalized on, and that's going to cost them, because now they're down to just 3 players, and this is looking, if not impossible, then something close to it for Brazil.
Not sure if Rednex should really go for the SKS here. Let's stay with the AK. Yep, that's it. Connecting shots immediately.
1 alive. RDNX, it's all you. You got yourself one. 10 more to go.
Yeah, Retnex is still... he is the last one from the Brazilian team, but he falls. Argentina takes this to map 5.
Maybe.
Probably not, because 128. But it means that this war isn't over yet between Brazil and Argentina. And when I see the chat and how everyone supports their country, I'm pretty sure that they're all happy that there's still a chance for either of those nations to win.
It's a good rivalry. Why not extend it to its fullest
why not?
extent?
It will be Erangel once again, by the way.
Yeah.
We're going back to our starting map. But production said anything yet, but I fear that we won't have that one due to the patch dropping on the server. But first, let's have a quick look once again at the replay from Vicken.
We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. Odds are that a break might be called in, and then we'll let you guys know when we get a guarantee on whether or not we'll be able to execute the game or not. And for those of you guys who are wondering, but why don't they want to do the 5th game? We do want to, but there is a server maintenance scheduled in about 1 minute. So realistically speaking, admin experience that we do all have, getting 64 players and observers and everyone onto a server and press start within 60 seconds, making it probably 30 by now, is it's not impossible. There's something close to it.
Yeah, probably not gonna happen, but at least we had an awesome matchup here between Brazil and Argentina with a tie after 4 matches. I mean, that's worth a semi-final.
It is. It's clearly, I mean, these guys have been through to the rounds up until now, and I mean, there's only logic behind the thing that these are 2 very, very caliber teams that are showing each their reasons why they deserve to get into the finals. I mean,
I like that they had different tactics based on the map that we're playing. I like the quick movement. We saw a lot of movement. We saw teams that were really stalling it, trying to defend a specific location. But here, both teams are willing to commit to a strategy. Both teams are willing to change their compound, move around, be dynamic.
Yeah, impressive. Nothing short of it.
That is true. But 2-2. I was wondering. So when we started, first map was won by Brazil. That was the one where Argentina pushed their compound. Brazil beat them down to it, won the map. Then Argentina took 1-1. I was like, oh, Argentina actually looks really, really strong. Then on the third one, it was, oh, Brazil. I have to say, they were so quick moving around. They were good at picking up targets, deciding on targets and stick to it. Damn, that was great. I thought, all right, 4th map will go the way of Brazil. It's a similar map, like in terms of size. Not, though, in terms of elevation and everything else on that map.
I see what you're saying.
But then, all of a sudden, it was Argentina just leading, trailing, leading, and then showing what they can do.
They got it. In the end, I mean, they rose to the occasion. They knew it's now or never. We're trailing. This is set match point. And they live to see at least one more map, because that's going to be the absolute decider between these 2 teams.
Both teams deserve the win here, but obviously it's elimination bracket. There can only be one winner, and one of these teams has to be eliminated, but this won't happen tonight. We just heard it, maintenance is kicking in, so unfortunately we're limited here. There's no chance for us to get onto the server and get into the next match, so it has to be postponed between Brazil and Argentina. That's your chance. Support your country once again. Hop on Twitter, hop everywhere. Give them your energy. Make sure that they're well prepared for the next match.
And they will need it. I mean, they've been up against each other. You saw from both teams crazy heads. It's not like just one team's been doing good and the other's like, oh, circles. It's, I mean, they've both been doing well to deserve the 2 rounds that they've had. So do follow all those guys playing. Do make sure to follow the channel here as well. Plenty more PUBG coming your way over the next period of time. Also, you wouldn't want to miss out on the finals either. So do make sure to set yourself up in a situation where you can get all the info you need.
That's true. And we will come back soon, so I'll give you the right information to see the next stream, which is tomorrow at 7 p.m. CET, right here, once again with Toby and me, Renee. So until then, we say good night, or have a good day. That depends on where you are in the world. But we'll definitely see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. CET here. Goodbye.